Okay, welcome to Western Maine Class A football playoff action from Thornton Academy in Saco, Maine. I'm Jim Toomey, along with the coach Rob Munzing. It's the 7-2 South Portland Red Riots against the 8-1 Thornton Academy Golden Trojans. Beautiful day here in Saco, Maine. We greet everybody around the world with a Thornton Academy production in conjunction with Munzing Media and also PressHerald.com and the newspapers of MaineToday.com. Again, a beautiful day, as we said. These teams met the second week of the season, and it was South Portland winning a close one at South Portland by a score of 20-16. And I'll ask Coach Munzing, how does that play into today's matchup here in November?
Well, you know, that's a long time ago, and I'm sure if you talk to both of the coaches, that's what they would say. Both teams have evolved since that time. There's been injuries. There's been kids that have come back and recovered from injuries and are now playing that weren't in that game. It's a whole different season, truly. I know it's a cliche, Jim, but sometimes these cliches work because they are the truth. And certainly, these teams know each other well. One of the things that early on in the season, you start to see who you might be playing later on, and you pay particular attention to those teams as you, as a coaching staff. There won't be any secrets out here today. There's skilled players on both sides, and it will come down to, as football games have to since the time of Pop Warner, you've got to win 2 out of 3 phases of the game. So whichever team wins the kick game and wins on defense or gets some turnovers, and we know that South Portland are ball hawkers. They've with interceptions and all of that, and certainly if somebody can win the kick game, that's going to go a long ways, because I think we got 2 pretty even teams. I think what that score early on indicates is that the teams are pretty close. A 20-16 game, that's a pretty darn close game. So I think it's going to be a case of whichever team can get out of the block, sustain themselves, and impose their will on the other. We know Thornton Academy. I've seen them the last 4 weeks. They would like to ball hockey and stay on the ground, use Libby. They're going Wildcat a lot more in the last couple of weeks. And Steve Senson's done a terrific job with the South Portland Red Riots. He's got this team back in the playoff hunt year in and year out. So I think we got a classic game shaping up here.
Okay, well, we're joining you for the 1 o'clock kickoff, but before that, we're going to go down on the field. The host of the pregame show, the general manager of Thornton Academy TV, Jeff Christenberry. Take away, Jeff.
All right, thank you very much, Jim and Rob. Welcome to Dr. Paul S. Hill Jr. Stadium here at Thornton Academy. I am Jeff Christenberry, along with UMaine legend Carl Smith and a senior here at Thornton Academy, Tyler Catterett. Welcome to Thornton Academy Sports Live, our pregame show here. And guys, as the guys were just talking about, these 2 teams have faced before. But Carl, what do you think they take from that game? It was, week 2, a lot of mistakes on both sides. Both teams ended up finishing the game without their starting quarterbacks because of injury. So, what do you think Coach Kevin Kiesel for Thornton Academy has up his sleeve? Being so far between the last time these 2 teams met.
Right now, he looked at the film when they played last time. But like that you said before, right now both teams have grown a lot. Both teams have come out and played real well. I think the key for Thornton right now, South Portland is a team that has run against our defense. We want to make sure we can stop the bias today.
And obviously, Tyler, last week, Andrew Libby was just an incredible player for Thornton Academy, racking up over 250 yards of offense. What does he bring to the table, and how big does he have to come up today in the biggest game of his career so far?
He's just a very diverse player overall. You can see him in lots of different positions. Obviously, they had him at running back sometimes. He just goes right up the gut. He's very powerful, running through the line, but also as a wide receiver, we've seen him make some huge plays last week and the week before. He actually had some big catches to help this team out. And of course, we see him in the Wildcat playing quarterback sometimes. He just has a lot of different identities in this offense, and he really is their main go-to guy when it comes to big plays. So I think that he has a big role in today's game.
Yeah, Carl, as we were talking off air, South Portland has been the only team really that's been able to run on Thornton Academy with the bias. So what are they going to have to do differently today than they did in the first matchup to really limit him? And, obviously, in a playoff game, you don't want to make mistakes, and you want to control the clock. So how important is that for them today?
You said it right there. We got to play our perfect game today. We have one of them all season long. We want to play perfect today, and we have to control the line of scrimmage, hopefully get in that backfield and disrupt their handoffs and everything like that.
Yeah, Tyler, Eric Christensen, quarterback for Thornton Academy, had a pretty good year considering a new quarterback coming in. Had some inconsistencies. Last week they didn't have him throw the ball all that much, so he didn't make many mistakes. Do you think they're going to open up the playbook a little bit today, or do you think we'll see a lot of the same Wildcat with Andrew Libby, handing it off to Nick Kenny, and a couple runs by Eric Christensen?
I think because of the success that they had last week with limiting the number of throws that Eric had, I think they're going to do that again this week. He seemed like he was more comfortable last week giving the ball to Andrew and some of the other running backs. He also seemed like he was more comfortable not having to make those pressure throws. Obviously, earlier in the season he was making a lot of interceptions, especially early in the game, and I think he was very nervous. Putting that pressure off of him and putting it on some of the other guys seems to make him play better. So I think today they're going to stay away from having him make some big pass plays, at least in the first half, and go more toward a running game.
And Carl, how important is it for Thornton Academy, again talking about Andrew Libby, if you haven't seen him yet, just be ready, number 16 for Thornton Academy. How is it, just a sophomore as well, how is it for Thornton Academy having the best player on the field? I mean, the bias, a very good running back for South Portland, probably, right up there, probably the second best player on the field, but Libby can take it to another level. How do you think you're going to use him today, knowing he plays both ways, he also does punting, and how do you, make sure that he's not banged up by the end of the game?
Well, the way that I look at him, he doesn't get tired. He gets more fresh as the game goes on. He takes a pounding, but he doesn't give them a lot to hit. He's hard to bring down, but like I said, he doesn't give them a lot to hit. We got to ride his back right now. He's seeing the field real well, calling him block. So if I was Coach Kiesel, I'd give the ball to Andrew Libby. Let's go.
All right, and talk about the little things, Tyler. Special teams, penalties. Yeah. Thornton Academy possesses a very good kicker. The little things like that, field position, forcing touchbacks. How important is that for them, for both teams today, to win that kicking game, being able to kick field goals, but also even on kickoffs, being able to switch your field position just like that?
Well, I have to say that on offense and defense, these two teams are very comparable. They're very similar with their style of offense. They're very comparable with their style of defense. They play to a similar level. So I think the big difference you're going to see between these teams might be on special teams, maybe with those field goals or with those extra points, or as you said, with touchbacks and stuff like that. So in order to come out on top, the team that plays better is going to be the team that plays better on special teams, I think. I think that's going to be the team that limits the run backs, and the other team has better kicking. And I really have to say, Thornton Academy has a strong kicker, and I think that they're going to have a lot of success today. I think that's going to be possibly the difference in the game.
And Carl, the first matchup was really decided by not really a fluke play, but a very long touchdown pass by South Portland. And how do you think Thornton Academy will respond if they give up a big play like that early in the game? Their secondary has been suspect at times, and South Portland will try to exploit that. So how do you think they're going to mentally? How do you think they could respond to something like that?
They got to put that second game of the week behind them.
Please rise and remove your hands as we honor America.
This is with the playing of our national anthem. Everything is white clear right now. We're 0-0
under the direction of Jennifer Witherell.
Yeah, and Tyler, so just last extra nose question. Penalties has also been something that Thornton Academy has struggled with this year, committing a lot of penalties and drive-killing penalties. Not really a whole lot of them, but what do you think they have to do mentally? Again, going back to the mental game, because you said very physically comparable teams.
Yes,
they both have some hard runners. Especially the line play. How important is it to stop committing these penalties, holding penalties that kill drives?
It's very important for this TA team because we saw in that earlier match of the season, as you guys have said, that's really what hurt Thornton Academy. They had that game, and obviously they had that big play in the fourth quarter that lost them the game ultimately, but it was a lot of those penalties that limited their scoring. It put them in bad field position, so it's very important for their offensive line guys and for some of the other guys on offense to really limit those penalties when they're on the field, because this is an explosive offense with Andrew Libby, Eric Christensen, Nick Kenny. They have a lot of opportunity as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot by making those big penalties.
And Carl, looking at South Portland, talk about Tobias a little bit. What you see in him that makes him such a tough guy to bring down?
It's just the speed that he has. He gets to the outside. One step he's gone. He's another back that doesn't give you a lot to hit. He sees the field as well as Andrew Libby, and we'll see who has the best back today.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, the band's just finishing up the Star Spangled Banner, so we're about to head it back up. But let's get our predictions now. So, Tyler, why don't you give us your prediction for today's game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very close game. As I've been saying all throughout this broadcast, I think these two teams are very close. Obviously, we saw that in their first matchup in week 2. I think it's going to be a close game once again. I don't think there are going to be a lot of mistakes on either side of the ball for either of these teams. I think it's going to be a pretty clean game. I also think it's going to be a moderate scoring game, which means it's probably going to be pretty extreme one way or the other because I just can never pick those. But I would say 28-21 TA. I just think they're going to have the edge on special teams, and I think Eric Christensen's going to have a good game.
Okay, and Carl?
I think this is what we said before. It's going to come down to special teams, and I think it's going to be 24-21 TA.
24-21. Well, Tyler, that's almost my exact score. I agree. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Thornton Academy has superior edge on the lines. They have a very deep line on both offensive and defensive, and the special teams are going to be able to pin people deep. I think Andrew Libby's got another big day, but I think Nick Kenny will come through with a couple big runs that will keep drives alive. So I'm going to go with Thornton Academy 28 and South Portland 20. So we'll see what
close.
Well, that's going to do it here for Thornton Academy Sports Live, a pregame show. We'll be cutting in and out of the broadcast to give you updates on the Deering Sheriff's game, the other one going on today. So please stay tuned for that and injury updates as well. But for this time, we're going to head back up to the booth for the opening kickoff. It's Jim Toomey and Rob Munzing. Guys, take it away.
All right, thank you, Jeff Christenberry. Tyler and Carl on the field. Jim Toomey high above Dr. Paul S. Hill Jr. Stadium. Rob Munzing's alongside, our main camera, Jeff Scott. Nate Munzing in technical support. And again, this is a cooperative effort between the Thornton Academy Television, Munzing Media, and the newspapers of Maine Today.com. And I'm watching the coin toss down there, Rob. I believe South Portland won the toss and deferred. They'll be kicking left to right. Thornton going right to left. Any thoughts here, Rob, as we about 1 minute away from kickoff?
I think you give credit to the Thornton Academy kicker, Brandon Briggs, for that decision, because he has pinned so many people deep. So if you win the toss, you come in and say, hey, if we win the toss and the conditions are favorable for him to kick a touchback, let's go on defense first anyway, and rather than receive the ball.
We'd like to recognize our service people around the world. Portland Press Herald this morning had a picture. I know Munzing Media carried it as well. Thornton Academy graduates, Major David Nasi, serving in Afghanistan, and civilian Sarah Cooper, working in a government agency providing economic and humanitarian aid in the Logar province in Afghanistan. And again, South Portland graduates around the world, Thornton graduates around the world, and our service people all over the world. Hope you enjoy this broadcast from the campus of Thornton Academy, Saco, Maine. Rob, perfect football weather, probably about 47 degrees, a light breeze, and it's supposed to be clear the rest of the day.
Couldn't be better, Jim, absolutely, for this type of year. And, of course, we always reference the surface would never come into play here at Thornton Academy with the beautiful new surface down on here. But the weather conditions are prime, and it really helps the offense. Sometimes you see offenses having to take a setback due to weather conditions in the playoffs here in the state of Maine. Shouldn't be the case today, Jim. We should have all the playbook wide open for both teams here today.
It's going to be Brendan Horton kicking off for the Red Riots. 7-2, they defeated Sanford in the quarterfinals. Thornton Academy 8-1, they defeated Wyndham last week. Run the way. It's going to be Josh Coffin about the 4-yard line. 15-20, a hole, and Coffin falls forward over the 30 to about the 31-yard line.
If he doesn't fall, he's gone. He had two blockers on the safety. You probably saw it set up well. They went with a middle wedge, Jim. They blew it open and almost to the house.
Trojans will have a first and 10 from their own.
I guess they gave Horton credit for the tackle by the shoe tops. First and 10, Thornton Academy from their own 31-yard line. And we did have a score that Chevrolet says a 7-0 lead over Deering.
Cam Olsen interception, 1-yard touchdown run for the Stags, 7-0 over Deering.
Spread formation, Kenny in motion, Christensen the quarterback. Or rather, it's right out of the Wildcat.
They came right out in Wildcat. We wondered that, Jim, and I think it's a good plan for the Thornton Academy Trojans. They have really implemented this to a perfection. They're peaking at the right time with it. They have a lot of confidence in it. Why not open up in it? They do, and they pick up 3.
Again, early in the season, it was mixed in here and there, a series here, a series there. Last week, probably 75% of the time.
And to good results.
This time we have Tarbox to the top of the screen, Morton to the bottom of the screen. Christensen is the quarterback, handing off to Kenny. Kenny picks up a couple. Some quick stats on Thornton coming in. Passing Christensen 45 out of 97, 644 yards. Nick Kenny,
the ball carrier, brought down
166 carries, 773 yards, 5 touchdowns. Andrew Libby, 114 carries, 664 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Leading receivers, Tarbox and Libby, both with 18. Right now, the first third down of the game. Christensen passes in the flat and dropped. That's all you can say about that one, as Tarbox thought it maybe looked upfield.
Incomplete, intended for Dakota Tarbox.
So it's going to be 4th down for the Golden Trojans.
Dakota sensed he had a cushion, and sometimes that's a curse. You sense that cushion, and you say, boy, I'm going to catch, I'm going to spin just like Coach taught me, go down the sidelines, and sometimes you play ahead of your body.
Dan Medici and Logan
Andrew Libby, the sophomore, in punt formation. High snap, no pressure. Sort of a line drive kick. That's Logan Gadar deciding to let it go out of bounds. And number 21, Logan Gadar, a key player to say the least. Press Herald Player of the Week last week, as he had 3 interceptions, also 2 touchdowns receiving. Andrew Libby, honorable mention, as Libby ran for 248 yards last week. So
a tough second place. You rush for 248 and you come in second place. But 3 interceptions and 11 on the season, Jim. That's an incredible number of interceptions. We talked about the ball hawking capabilities of the Red Riots, and you saw that. They'll come right out here to the line of scrimmage.
First down, Red Riots from the 21-yard line. Their quarterback, Mike Salvatore, took over in that Thornton game when Jordan Muller got hurt. Gadar flank closest to us. They're going to go up to middle. And I believe that was Medici or Porter. It was inside handoff. It was Porter, Max Porter.
Max Porter, the ball carrier, brought down by Chris Madden.
I'd like to thank Athletic Director of South Portland, Todd Livingston, for emailing some stats. Joey DeBias has 861 yards on the season. Salvatore himself, the quarterback, 435. Porter, 256. 2nd and 9 for the Red Riots, going left to right on your screen. This is Joey DeBias, the senior, dances and falls across the 25 to about the 26.5-yard line.
You folks at home that are seeing this offense, this is a variation of a spread offense. Those that run this call it the pistol look. It's a hybrid type of offense, Jim, that what they do is they keep the tailback at a tailback formation as if the quarterback's under center, but the quarterback is in shotgun formation. So they run the pistol out of this set do the Red Riots.
3rd down and 5 for South Portland. Salvatore on the keeper, and Thornton going to stack him up after a short gain. Let's see, I see Bosino, 79. Quinlan O'Brien, 64 in that tackle. So punting situation for South Portland.
Good swarm defense by Thornton Academy at the 2nd level there. You saw lots of bodies on the ball, and that's what you need in playoff football. You got to think this will be more of a defensive type game. Both defenses get 3 and out, so defensive coordinators are happy so far.
Brendan Horton, the punter. Good snap, good kick. Dylan Morton drops it and jumped on it, I think, or is it still loose?
They're scrumming.
What happens in that pile, we never know sometimes.
Never give up in the pile. I think
they're going to say South Portland ball. I see Teddy LaFay, number 5 in there. I'm not sure he got it.
Porter was in there also for the Red Riots. He got up the...
They give credit to Medici. Paul Remus doing his excellent job on the PA as well. So the first turnover.
Well, we talked about turnovers, and turnovers in kick game are the most devastating to you, Jim, because they change field position as well as possession.
1st and 10 Red Riots at the 35 of Thornton. Salvatore barks signals, hands off to DeBias, the senior DeBias. There's another Joey DeBias as a sophomore. The senior Joey DeBias, as we said, over 860 yards this year, had 900 last year. Picked up about 3 yards. Bobby Began, double B, Bobby Began on the tackle.
Began will be back to one-way duty. Played center last week in the game, and after a couple of miscues, really handled that position well.
Salvatore, handoff to DeBias, sort of on a counter. Picked up 2 or 3 yards on the play. Host of Thornton tacklers. I see John Remus, 33. Let's see who else we get credit. 50 is Chris Madden. We'll try to pick up that South Portland offensive line.
Joey DeBias, the ball carrier.
As we go along, I see 75 in there. Liam Rotoff. 54, Connor McVeigh.
3rd down and 3 from the 28.
They got 2 to get this one, Jim. They're in a 2-down zone here.
3rd and about a long 2 for South Portland. 2nd possession of the game. Salvatore on the keeper, and he's going to fall forward for that 1st down. 2nd effort. Kept the legs moving. Mike Salvatore, the senior quarterback, 1st down, Red Riots.
Got a pretty good push that time, and Salvatore, with, as you said, Jim, good 2nd effort there as he was able to pick up the 1st down. That's first down of the game. Got an update on the Chevrolet score. Chevrolet got a field goal. They lead DeStasio with a 33-yard field goal. Lead now 10-0 to the Stags over Deering.
Yeah, Louis DeStasio, 3-sport athlete.
Oh, terrific athlete.
He's an impact player.
All sports.
In motion is Horton. Salvatore going to hand off, coming this way. And that's that is DeBias.
Brendan Horton, number 45, Jim, had a nice block. That's a stretch play right side. Horton had to hold that block to seal the edge a long time. He did a great job out there.
Brings up 2nd down and 5 from the 19.
Also in that South Portland line, Cody Munson, number 63. We did not get the offensive starters for South Portland, so we're trying to, as we gaze down, looks like the center is Sean Whistler, number 67. Second and about 5, Red Riots. No score in the game. First quarter from Thornton Academy and Saco. Western A semifinals. Salvatore has the pass. Intercepted. Batted down by Tarbox. I think it's Chris Madden. Chris Madden down the right sideline. Chris Madden is tripped just outside the 10-yard line. No flags on the play. First and 10, Thornton Academy.
Well, what a change in a one-play series. Credit Tarbox 2 ways on that, Jim Toomey. Tarbox went up, deflected the ball, and then Tarbox turned into an offensive blocker, got his big 6'4" body as an armada, a one-man armada down the right side. He did a great job on the blocking, Jim, and certainly almost sprung for a touchdown, but Tarbox with the play and a great interception and run.
Tarbox got that big paw up there. First and 10 from just outside the 10. Andrew Libby. Libby, 5, Libby, touchdown Trojans!
Lead play right side, Jim, on the Wildcat power play to the right side. Credit the offensive line. Libby would have scored in flag football. Nobody touched him, Jim. He went in the right side, and they seized the momentum after the interception. The offensive line smelled blood, blew a big hole on the right side. Libby waltzed into the end zone, puts his team ahead.
Cody Meserve, the long snapper. Eric Christensen, the holder. Brandon Briggs with 23 extra points on the season. Of course, he had a pass off the extra point last week for a 2-point conversion. High snap. Christensen gets it down. And it's good. I think it just snuck in that right upright. So as they come back up the field, 6:11 to go, first period. 7-0 Thornton Academy. Let's go down on the field. How to look down there, Jeff Christenberry.
Well, obviously that's by far the play of the game so far. You know, when he came out of the snap there, he was looking at the receiver the whole time. Yeah. Dakota obviously saw that. He got way up in the air, used that height, right place, right time. And what a great run back. And Thornton Academy, huge momentum swing on the sideline. It didn't look good after the turnover here. Took advantage of that turnover, and now Thornton Academy in a great position. What do you think now? Obviously coming back on defense, how important is it for 3 and out? Get the ball back, keep the momentum.
Keep your defense off the field, keep your offense on the field. They've been having some hard times, obviously, early on today with a couple mistakes. We saw that on the special teams, but really that was a huge play for Thornton Academy, and you can see they are pumped up right now.
Absolutely are, so we'll see what happens as the first big turnover that led to points on Thornton Academy's end, 7-0.
Okay, I'll tell you, nobody's any happier than Dylan Morton, who had trouble with that punt, but his teammates sort of helped out. Briggs with a high booming kick. It's going to be caught by Medici. Medici, 20 is a hole. Medici trying to run it back. Briggs slows it down to the 35, the 30, and finally, a combination of Brandon Briggs and Medici maybe running out of gas just a little bit.
Kick is returned by Dan Medici, finally brought down by number 43, Aaron
Scott, along with Briggs missed the first one. Aaron Scott used his speed and finally caught Medici inside the 30. Aaron Scott always active on the special teams.
Well, Medici's got an answer for the Red Riots right there. You talk about momentum. It is fleeting. Now it turns to the Red Riots. They're in 4-down territory out of the gate.
I call Mr. Momentum a very fickle character. Stacked up is Joey DeBias by the center of the Thornton line. Because Medici was the one that, in the last 2 minutes of the first game, caught a pass over the middle. Probably about 12 yards behind the, in front of the line of scrimmage, and then ran the rest of the way, total 67 yards for the winning score.
Well, you could see the athleticism that he has right there, Jim. You hit, he ran out of gas a little bit as he transversed himself from right to left and all the way across and ran out of gas a little bit. Brooks was able to get him down, but Riots are cooking.
2nd and 10, no gain in that play. Salvatore, back to pass, left sideline, complete to Gadar. The ever dangerous Logan Gadar being knocked out on that far side. Kyle Forbes, number 12, is over there.
That's the same pass that they threw that Madden had the interception, Tarbox a deflection of. The difference this time, Tarbox the other side of the field.
That was Kyle Forbes along with John Remus on the stop. 3rd and about 2 for the Red Riots. Thornton leading 7-0, 5:18 to go. first quarter, Western Class A semifinals. Loose ball, and who's got it? I think Thornton, Dakota Tarbox jumped on that one like it was the last piece of candy at Halloween.
Well, the Red Riots are self-destructing in the red, almost to the red zone, with great field positioning on consecutive drives. One after the turnover, one after the Medici great return. They have them fizzled out. Big, big, big squanders. We talked about turnovers. 2 big ones so far here for TA.
First and 10 Thornton from about the 26-yard line. Dylan Morton nearest to us. Tarbox in the slot. Handoff to Kenny. Nick Kenny, junior running back. He did not play in the second half of that Thornton game. Again, there was
Nick Kenny, the ball
both teams missing key personnel that game. Starting quarterback Jordan Muller left in the first half. Mike Salvatore came on, did a good job in that game, and has continued starting, doing excellent work since. Dakota Tarbox did not dress for that game, and Nick Kenny didn't play the second half, but it's good to see everybody. You always want everybody full force.
Absolutely, absolutely. The kids work hard. You want them all healthy.
Handoff again to Kenny. Short yard. Excellent defense by South Portland.
Nick Kenny, the ball
knifing in there, number 9, Zach Compton, with excellent penetration. Compton, a senior, 6'3", 200 pounds. Held that to a minimal gain.
Don't forget, in their first series, TA went on the quick hitch out to Tarbox. That was wide open. He dropped the ball. That may be something they'll want to come back to here as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Usually this has been a rundown for TA.
Handoff to Kenny. Kenny has the first down and a little bit more as he goes across the 40-yard line.
TA came to the split side. They had a wide slot to that side of the field. In a pass situation, they watched the perimeter play of the Red Riots. The Red Riots took the edge player, walked him out underneath because Tarbox was out there. It gave him a soft corner, Jim. They were able to convert that 3rd down play.
Brendan Horton on the tackle for South Portland. Ball just over the 40-yard line.
Tarbox got a great mismatch out here. He's got about 4 or 5 inches on the defender.
Inside handoff to Kenny. And South Portland defensive line.
Nick Kenny, the ball carrier. Brought down by Zach Gillette.
That was number 60, Zach Gillette. He bulldogged like Kenny, like Gillette was auditioning for the rodeo circuit. Zach Gillette, a senior, 5'8", 200 pounds. But a gain of about 1.5. Wildcat alert because I see Christensen flank nearest to us. Libby in the Wildcat, the sophomore. Kenny in motion. Libby's going to keep it. And South Portland had that one well scouted.
Played run. I counted them in the box. There were so many of them, I couldn't get it out before the play, Jim. 9 guys in the box. TA, this is the week that TA needs to have Libby throw the ball out of Wildcat because you're going to get a chance or 2, and if you hit it, it could be a big 6-point one.
Zach Compton again on the tackle. 3rd and 8 for Thornton, leading 7-0. I hope you're enjoying this game around the world. Perfect day here in Saco, Maine, the campus of Thornton Academy. Christensen, back to pass. It's complete, but it's going to be well short of the first down. Dylan Morton on the reception.
Christensen's pass.
Salvador with the coverage outside for the Red Riots, right in his shirt. Made the tackle immediately after the catch. They were looking for Tarbox on the seam. They did a good job of jumping on the seam release by the big tight end as he was flexed out into a flex position in the wide slot, came down the seam. They jumped him.
Deep to receive for the Red Riots. Logan Godard.
4th and 4. No second guessing this one by any means. Punt formation, Andrew Libby. No pressure, Libby. A little bit higher kick this time. Fair catch. At about the 26-yard line, coming up was Dan Medici. So it'll be 1st and 10 Red Riots from their own 26-yard line.
Well, the Red Riots haven't lacked for field position. What they've lacked is execution.
Very quickly from last night, Eastern Maine Class A playoffs. Bangor 42, Brunswick 14, Lawrence 28, Messalonski 13. So it'll be Bangor and Lawrence next week for the Eastern title. In Western Maine, of course, right now going on, last score we had was Chevrolet ahead of Deering, 10-0.
Let me update that for you, Jim. 17-0 second quarter. Olson picked off a Flaherty pass, and Olson finished off the stag drive with a touchdown pass to Castle.
All right, 17-0 Chevrolet. Salvatore Pass complete. It's going to be short of a first down. But they got it out to Max Porter. Max Porter with that
Salvador's
sort of a
to Max Porter.
heritage of football in the Porter family. His cousin played for Portland this year, and both fathers were very active football players.
8 of 8 brings up a 2nd down and 2 from the 34.
I like the play call there by the Red Riots. Play action on first down in the flat, safe pass, and almost picked up 8.
In motion is Gadar. Salvatore, sort of a delayed handoff to Bias, and Tobias going to be pushed back. It's going to be 3rd down. Let's see who's at the bottom of that. 33, John Remus.
Carrier brought down by John Remus and Cody Forbes.
Cody Forbes, number 30, as both Forbes brothers are in the game.
Yeah, Remus did a good job on flow. They came at Tarbox, kicked him out. They had a quick inside running seam there, but it closed very quickly with the pursuit of Thornton Academy.
3rd and 1. Pretty tight formation, except Gadar's at the top of the screen. Tobias has the first down and a little bit more as he goes over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Pretty good hole opened up on that left side of that South Portland line.
Well, they came out with a mentality of, okay, here we're on power formation. You know it. We know it. We're going to run it. Battle of Wills. Red Riots won the Battle of Wills for about 6 yards there, off tackle left side as they came off in behind on the power play.
We didn't mention number 62 in the offensive line. Ryan Ely is also in there. 1st and 10, Red Riots going left to right, trailing 7-0. Gadar in motion. Salvatore wants to go out here to Horton. Nice catch by Horton. Brought down by John Remus.
Salvador's pass is complete to Brendan Horton. Brought down by John Remus.
They brought Gadar from the left to the right in motion. He acted as a blocker, lead blocker on that quick bubble screen to the right side there. Again, I think what the Red Riots are saying is that TA is playing them by tendency on first down for run. We'll throw the ball. Back-to-back throws on first down have been good for them.
2nd and 2, South Portland, just shy of midfield. And we're going to have whistles.
Quarter.
All right. The quarter snuck up on us.
First quarter with the score. Thornton Academy
at the end of 1, Thornton Academy 7, South Portland nothing. Let's go down on the field with Jeff Christenberry and Tyler Carteret.
All right, thanks, guys. Obviously, Thornton Academy with a 7-0 lead. The big play, obviously the turnover that led to the touchdown by Andrew Libby. What did you see in that first half? Thornton Academy giving up a drive right here, but obviously taking advantage of the mistakes by South Portland.
Well, really, minus the muff punt early on, they really played a pretty solid game on both offense and defense. And, of course, that interception was huge for them. But you saw, too, Andrew Libby with that touchdown didn't waste any time getting into the end zone. And then, of course, their defense has been playing pretty solid. Right now, they're letting South Portland march down the field, but we'll see if they can get a good stop here.
Obviously, South Portland is using the short pass right now. You wonder if maybe eventually they might go to a deep pass because Thornton Academy's safety will start creeping up. So what do you think you're going to see from Thornton Academy here in the second quarter?
I think that you're going to see a lot of the same stuff. I think you're going to see a lot of that run game with Andrew Libby. Also, probably a little bit of the Wildcat, maybe mixing him in there, getting Dakota Tarbox, Nick Kenny involved. And also, I think they're going to let Eric Christensen pass the ball a little bit. He seems like he's been on target today. Hasn't had a lot of completions, but he's been on target. I think they'll let him take a couple shots, maybe not downfield, but at least mid-range.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of bias in this quarter as well as they try to move down the field. So we'll see what happens. Score update from Shevers, 24-0 now.
Huge.
Stags up 24-zip, 2 minutes to go in the first half. So, guys, looks like we'll be heading to Shevers next week if Thornton Academy can win this game.
We want to remind you that this game is brought to you by Saco and Biddeford Savings with convenient locations in Saco, Biddeford, Old Orchard Beach, Scarborough, South Portland, Westbrook. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Visit us on the web at sbsavings.com.
Okay, thank you, Rob. First play of the second quarter. South Portland just shy of midfield. Thornton 7-0. And nice power that time shown.
Joey Tobias,
by
Andrew Libby and Bobby Began.
Was hit by the tackler and then fell forward. Began and Libby on the tackle.
Well, they're doing a nice job out of the Red Riots on the off-tackle play, the basic play in football. And we've got a face mask. That came in very late, Jim, so we're going to get a face mask. I think. Yes, it is.
I looked down to my notes here and
5-yard face mask. So
looked up. So it was
face penalty on the Trojans. 5 yards added to the end of the run. We'll give the
flavor face mask is 15, correct?
Trojans 41.
That was accidental.
Incidental is what they call that. Mr. Fontaine, the fine referee today.
1st and 10, Red Riots from the 41 of Thornton. Salvatore going to keep it. But I see Luke Libby, 67 contact, and then he gets some help from his friends. Luke Libby, the senior brother of Andrew Libby. Nice article.
Oh, that was awesome
this week.
That was awesome. Yeah, Luke stepped up, and Libby on the tackle.
Tarbox and O'Brien.
The loss of 2 brings up 2nd down and 12.
Again, we get different communications from around the world, and I know Lucy Began has some sisters. Some aunts of Bobby Began are in the Pittsburgh area watching us.
We're so glad to be able to do this, and Jim referenced the troops from the very first broadcast without really knowing, but now we know, and we'll talk more about that at halftime. Tom Chad will join us from the Press Herald.
Again, welcome South Portland alumni and Thornton alumni. The pass incomplete as they tried to go to Dan Medici, a little bit high, and sort of like high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
As you go to the flat, because you can make yardage, or if it's mistimed, it could go the other direction.
You hit that slant, and you can find the crease in the zone. That slant gets tipped, and the next thing you know, somebody's running the other way with it. Remus was closing in to make the tackle, and had Remus not been such a good player and closing in on the tackle, it probably would have come to him.
3rd and 12, South Portland. That's Gadar, flank nearest to the camera. Salvatore looking to the sideline. Coach Steve Stinson, in his 7th year, says, let's talk it over so there's no mistakes here.
Well, certainly they have not cashed in on the field position that they have been given. And the thing that happens is a lot of times, Jim, that field position, you're not going to get that every time. They've had a couple of opportunities with a short field, and they've come up short with it. And you just know those opportunities are fleeting. You can't be guaranteed that every single time. That's why possession of the football is so important in any football game and more important in a playoff game. And certainly against a good defense like Thornton Academy, it's hard to go and drive the field against a really rock-solid defense. And certainly that's the same with the Red Riots. Are playing good, solid defense. It's been the turnover, the Madden interception off the good tar box tip and then block downfield that's resulted in the scoring in this thing. So you have to think that when you get these opportunities, you got to cash in. That's why I think Coach Stinson took that timeout. He knows he's not going to get a lot of scoring opportunities. We better cash this in.
Good choice by Coach Stinson. You don't want any mistakes here. Every possession is crucial. 3rd and 12, Red Riots. Salvatore.
Tarbox offsides.
I think Tarbox missed time. Last week was perfect timing, and he might have been a step at least too early.
Yeah, when you're the edge player, as Tarbox is there, he was coming on zone blitz. It's not going to hurt him too much. He tried to time it up, and I think the snap got a little bit delayed, and there's nowhere for a 6'4" big boy to disappear.
The bad news is it's a 5-yard penalty. The good news is it's still 3rd and 7. Now, will this change the play call?
I don't think it's going to. I think they're going to go with what they had there. You've got to think that they may even now be in 2-down territory now that they're inside at the 38-yard line, so that could change.
In motion, Compton now going to reset as the tight end. Salvatore with Tobias alongside. Fakes to Tobias. Salvatore to the right sideline, and I think Gadar got it. Logan Gadar ran under that one as that ball hung up, but give credit to South Portland for execution on 3rd and long.
Well, Salvador let that one go well before the break by Gerard out there on the right side, on the far side of your screen if you're watching on our online feed. And absolutely a great pass, a great timing play, and a big pickup.
Gadar had 22 catches coming in, averaging 18.7 a catch and 7 touchdowns. Joey Tobias, the senior, gets to the outside, knocked out of bounds, but he picked up 7 or 8. John Remus, 33 over there, I see.
Joey Tobias, the ball carrier, taken out of bounds.
And I think Chris Madden.
Joey Tobias had the edge from the get-go by formation that time as the Red Riots put strength into the boundary. They had a flank already pre-established there. I looked up and I said, boy, if they run the stretch play that side, they're going to pick up some good yardage, and they do. They pick up 8 yards.
That was actually Cody Forbes, 30 over there, not Chris Madden, 50. 2nd down, Red Riots inside the 20. Salvatore passes to Gadar. Gadar uses a stiff arm and goes inside the 5-yard line. Excellent strength shown by Logan Gadar.
Salvadore's speed pass.
As Kyle Forbes on the defense.
Brought down by Kyle Forbes.
It's going to be 1st and goal, South Portland from the 2 of Thornton.
Godard's going out across the way. Maybe just that they're taking a wide receiver out. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think they're probably going to come with 2 tight ends, power I set.
Again, it is a very tight formation. Salvatore under center, hands off to Tobias. Tobias bounces it. It's Salvatore for the touchdown.
They ran what we call rip keep out of the power formation. Coach Stinson has got that one from Coach Wolfgram, who's been running that since the 70s. A great play fake by Salvatore. Up inside, fake to Tobias. Tobias carried out his fake. Salvatore kept the ball, went left side naked, and waltzed into the end zone untouched. Great execution by South Portland. Picked up the big 3rd and 12 on the great pass by Salvatore to Gerard.
Now, were you faked out like I was?
I was waiting on the call. Luckily, I don't have to do the play-by-play on that, Jim. I just have to describe it. I've got the easy job.
Horton, the extra point, is blocked.
Big.
It's blocked. Andrew Libby, I think, and Quinton O'Brien on penetration.
Blocked by Andrew Libby.
But that was excellent execution by South Portland because the Thornton players continued to try to tackle Tobias, and I was looking at Tobias, and then all of a sudden, coming around the left side was Salvatore with nobody 10 yards around them.
Yeah, that's the old isolation keep, quarterback keep play.
I was isolated, all right.
You were isolated.
With a different runner. But the point after blocked. So it remains 7-6.
Well, Jeff Christensen was right down. Christenberry was right down there on the sidelines, and we'll see if he knew it when on the peekaboo play who had it. Jeff?
Yeah, it was a really good play by the quarterback. A great bootleg. Fooled most of us on the sideline there. It was just Steve Nashlak, I think, was the stuff the name that we heard. Obviously, Thornton Academy, the penalty obviously hurt them. 3rd and 12. Maybe they would have had the same play, but that definitely hurt them. And coming down, that was a great stiff arm. Really good execution from South Portland in there. Thornton Academy playing decent defense, but that's just a drive that really can't stop. So we'll see how Thornton Academy responds. But the blocked extra point, much like we saw in the first matchup, where Thornton Academy was an extra point, you may be chasing that point the whole game. So at least that's a silver lining for Thornton Academy right now.
Absolutely, Jeff. Kick game execution, crucial in any playoff game.
All right, Horton kicking off. It's Andrew Libby, the 20, the 25, 30, makes a cut. And he's out on the 40-yard line before he's brought down.
Kick is returned by Andrew Libby, brought down by
number 6, Duncan Preston, a sophomore back, made the tackle, but excellent return. And as Jeff Christenberry said, how does Thornton answer this South Portland touchdown?
Well, I think they're going to go back bread and butter. I think you may see a little wildcat here, too. And don't forget, they've got a good mismatch on the outside with Tarbox. And when Tarbox matches up as he does now, he's got a pretty good height and weight advantage.
This is Libby in the wildcat. Kenny blocks over here, and Libby falls over the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
Andrew Libby, the ball carrier. Brought down
Thornton Academy 7, South Portland 6. We just hit 10 minutes to go, first half. Jim Toomey along with Rob Munzing.
Gain of 6 brings
Jeff
up
Scott on our main camera.
47.
We'd like to recognize our regular camera people who've been with us for years, Randy Pulsiver and Greg Murray for all the good work. Down on the field we have Jeff Christenberry, Tyler Carteret, Carl Smith, and our technical assistants for the internet, Nate Munzing. Hope you're enjoying this one around the world. Nick Kenny over midfield. And he's going to be close to that first down. Let's see where they mark it.
Touch shot, maybe. Going to bring up 3rd and very short here. They're going to look at it. Yeah, 3rd down.
3rd and about half a yard, I'm going to say.
Well, here's a gamble time if you want to take a shot at a gamble right here. Go into Wildcat, maybe have Libby throw the ball out of the Wildcat, but I think they'll probably go to their straight T set, which they like to do in power situations.
That's the full house. John Remus, Nick Kenny, Andrew Libby. And Libby off the left side. Leg still moving. It's a first down easily for Thornton and some bonus yardage as well.
Andrew Libby, the ball carrier, brought down by Max Porter, Michael Salvador, and Logan Godard.
Salvador and Porter Godard all on the stop for the South Portland Red Riots. Again, Steve Stinson doing an excellent job rebuilding that program.
Absolutely.
Last year they went 5-4, lost in the quarterfinals. Coach Stinson in his 7th year. Last year, Thornton Academy was 6-3. They lost in the quarterfinals as well. But right now, it's football 2011, 7-6 Thornton, as Libby is going to keep it inside the 40-yard line.
Offense has evolved, Jim, from the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust into spread them out, play on artificial turf, find a seam with a great athlete, and see if you can get one-on-one isolation plays with a great athlete into the second level untouched. And that's what they're all trying to do here. And TA with their Wildcat, that's what they're attempting to do is they spread out. They'll bring one guy back as a lead blocker, and they like to use Kenny as that role. He does a great job.
Second down for Thornton. Kenny in motion. Libby going to keep it. And Libby's got a first down. He's all the way to the 30-yard line, maybe inside the 30. Nice hole open by that offensive line. I want to recognize them at tackles. 77, Tyler Danley. 72, David LaPaulo. The guard, 67, Luke Libby. 50, Chris Madden. Keith Parento back at center, number 58, after an injury. Wide receiver, Dakota Tarbox, 85. The tight end is 42, Connor McCrum. And that line did a nice job that time, Rob.
They are so happy to have Parento back there. He really is the glue inside there. When you do multiple things with a center, you need an athletic center. He's great in there with that short snap game.
Christensen, inside handoff to Kenny in South Portland. All over that one.
Nick Kenny, the ball carrier.
So folks at home may say, hey, Libby's been running the ball great. Why don't you just keep running him? Occasionally what you have to do is you got to make sure that you run the base play off of an offense. And that base play off that is the power game up inside. And what that will do, maybe only gain a couple of yards, Jim, but it keeps the defense honest so that they're not running at the snap to a particular play. You keep them honest.
Wildcat alert because you have Christensen at the top of the screen, Tarbox at the, excuse me.
Oh, that was a big hit up inside. They stepped up inside that time. And with the hit inside, I think it was one of we'll get the call. Yeah, that was a great play up inside there. It banged home at the line of scrimmage. That's really the first time I think that they've been able to stop that Wildcat at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 here for TA. They're in 2-down territory. I think they're out of field goal range, even though Brandon Briggs has got a big leg. This is too far for him here. Let's see if they don't go and they try to get Tarbox with something.
Obviously, they want to get at least half the yardage here. Christensen sprints towards us, and he's going to be sacked. The South Portland defense. Brendan Horton, 45, and 54.
Connor McVeigh.
Connor McVeigh. Boy, they shot the gaps, and we're all over Eric Christensen.
Yeah, Christensen was looking to the outside, as we thought, to Dakota Tarbox. Tarbox had run down past the stakes, was doing what we call a fancy out, made an inside move, planted, low post type basketball move, Jim, for a big guy, and he was coming to the outside. He was breaking open, but Christensen no time to deliver that ball as the rush was on him.
Libby back in punt formation. Godard and Medici deep for South Portland.
They're going to try to get one inside the 10-yard line, hopefully inside the 5 if they can.
Pretty good kick by Libby. They're going to let it go, and the artificial turf helps get that one into the end zone. Touchback, 1st and 10 South Portland from the 20-yard line.
That turf will giveth when you hit a 20-yarder, and then it rolls for 30 more, but sometimes it's the other way around. That's why you're seeing the pro guys are doing that kind of funky kick there where they try to get the backspin on it and make it hit and then come backwards a little bit. Good decision by the Red Riots. They'll huddle up on the sidelines, come in right to the line of scrimmage and run the play. We got ourselves a battle royale going on here, Jim, as we're winding down. Beautiful new clock here, too, at Thornton Academy.
That last play reminded me, I was told, one of your golf shots.
Yes, absolutely.
From 100 yards out, you sort of line drive it, and you roll it all the way within 10 feet.
That's right.
Like you were supposed to.
Then I pick it up and say, that's good.
Salvatore, handoff to DeBias, the senior DeBias. Hard to pick up. Tough runner, Joey DeBias. He's listed at 5'7", 185 pounds, and had an outstanding career at South Portland.
Yeah, Joey runs really with a low body lean. He's low to begin with, and he really got down low there. Stumbled there a little bit, got tripped up a little bit, but he's some tough knocker, isn't he? I'm really impressed with DeBias, and the way he runs out of that pistol set that they have, he's really, really effective.
Just inside 5.5 minutes to go. 2nd and 5, South Portland. Thornton 7, South Portland 6. Western Maine Class A semifinal action from Thornton Academy. Salvatore fakes, sprints this way, looking downfield, and sort of throws it away.
Good choice.
If you throw it to the outside, either your receiver gets it or nobody gets it.
That play broke down. Salvatore had pretty good pressure on him coming late. good coverage downfield as they ran a flood pass out into the left flat area, multiple levels. Looks like we've got some manner of discussion here. Maybe somebody downfield, you wonder about that as you get out on the perimeter. Maybe if one of the linemen released and thought a run was coming up or not. I don't see a flag, though, Jim. Do you see a flag?
I don't either.
I don't see the flag. We got something on South Portland. I don't know what the signal was. I was looking at the official, and it was...
yeah, he started to make a signal, stopped, and then started again.
If he'd been talking, it would have been stuttering. Here we go.
Offensive pass interference, lost it down.
Yeah.
Again, I never seen the flag. I never seen the flag. But anyway.
Offensive pass interference.
So we saw the pushing type motion, pointing at the offense. That's pass interference. And then when the referee goes behind his head with a second signal, it means loss of down as well.
It's the old, as we call those double whammies. You lose the play, you lose the distance, and hard to recover from as it backs them up. And we're going to get some other manner of discussion here as the back judges into the mix, and they may be making sure that the stakes, well, that'll give us a chance to tell you we'd like to thank our fine sponsor for this on the Newspapers of Maine Today Media. This game is brought to you by Saco and Biddeford Savings, with convenient locations in Saco, Biddeford, Old Orchard Beach, Scarborough, South Portland, and Westbrook. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Visit us on the web at sbsavings.com. We thank them for making our visits down here to Thornton Academy possible and to bring these games out to you in the live stream on the Newspapers of Maine Today Media. Jim, I want to thank everybody down here that has invited us down, Nate and I, to come in and work with you folks. And really, I think this is the future of what broadcasting is going to become, the internet. But people who have certain packages and skills and all of that collaborating together, because what's it all about? Well, you and I, career-long educators, for these kids here to get these games out and bring it to the people you were talking about, the folks in the Pittsburgh area that now get to see their relatives. I heard all kinds of Gardner people all over the country watching it. They couldn't figure out where the game was last night. We couldn't do it.
All right, we certainly enjoyed it and hope to continue as well. 3rd and 17, Tobias, and he's hit. Bobby Began, double B, Bobby Began. Says, I hope my aunts in Pittsburgh saw that one.
I love it when they step up on cue. That a boy, Bobby. That's for the folks in Pittsburgh right there. That's for the Pittsburgh people.
Jeff Scott, our main cameraman, of course, is from the area. I know he's got some Steelers stuff under his jacket. He doesn't dare show it since they beat the Patriots last week.
Bobby got steel underoos on.
Well, we're up high. He's afraid we might push him over the rail. 4th down, South Portland. Fair catch. Andrew Libby, Thornton now with excellent field position.
So what did the penalty wreak havoc with? It wreaked havoc with field position, Jim, because what happened is the Red Riots were marching pretty well. They were having some good success with Tobias, and the next thing you know, they threw the pass interference on the offense, lost it down, lost the distance. Next play doesn't go. They've got a punt, and look where TA ends up with field position. Just fantastic field position right down there.
1st and 10 Trojans at about the 43-yard line. 4:33 to go. Thornton with all 3 timeouts if they need to use them. And going to be a false start. Let's go down on the field with Jeff Christenberry down around the 15-yard line. Hopes to see some action coming his way.
Yeah, just letting you know about that penalty. The flag was right along the Thornton Academy sideline. That's why you didn't see it. And there was pass interference on the offense. And as you guys were talking about, it's really about field position. I mean, pushing them back. Obviously, Thornton just gave 5 yards back right there. But the field position game, huge in a game like this. So that penalty really can change momentum. And if Thornton Academy can come down here and score, or even if they can run out this clock and go into halftime with the lead, you got to feel they're in pretty good shape right now.
Field goal too, Jeff. Don't forget that.
Absolutely.
With Briggs.
1st and 15. Christensen throws to the flat to Libby. Libby cannot shake the tackler. Give credit to South Portland. That was Salvatore on this left sideline, or as we look down the near sideline, and he held his position very well, Salvatore.
2 pretty good athletes right there, huh, Jim, right there, competing for inches as they were. And not much of a gain there as they tried to swing it out to Libby. And as we said, get a great athlete out there in space. Salvador would have none of it.
2nd and 9. Thornton Academy going left to right. 4 minutes to go, first half. Thornton 7, South Portland 6. Christensen Passes on the slant. Tarbox has this one. Tarbox inside the 30. Falls forward.
Christensen's pass is complete to Dakota Tarbox.
Tarbox with 18 receptions on the season.
For another Thornton Academy first down, Libby Christensen.
For 384 yards, 21-yard average.
Good safe pass, Jim. It was a slant pass, big window in there. And Salvador on the coverage, but he's given away a lot of bodyage in there, and certainly Tarbox came up with the play.
Wildcat, there's Libby following the block of John Remus, but from behind, let's say that, I guess they finally blow the whistle. Libby didn't think his knee hit.
Libby, the ball carrier, brought down by Max Porter.
Max Porter, 34, knifed in. I'll tell you, if you get away from Porter, there was a hole in front as John Remus was leading the way.
Absolutely. You would just now be saying touchdown Thornton Academy. Absolutely. And Porter made a nice play. Porter's a good tackler. He's made some nice tackles in the open field so far today for the Red Riots. And as you said, Libby was a step away from being gone on that one.
Well, again, the stats courtesy of Athletic Director Todd Livingston. Max Porter coming in with 108 tackles this year. 2nd and 9, Thornton. Christensen hands off to Kenny. Kenny makes a couple of cuts inside and had some hard-earned yards.
Yep, Kenny out of Bedrock High School, the old school, runs with low pad profile, gets north and south. He gives them tough yards inside. Very seldom. I've seen 4 games now. I haven't seen Libby take a loss, even on plays that look like they're blown up in the backfield. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage, brings up 3rd and short.
Big number 72, David LaPaulo, junior lineman, leading the way that time. 3rd and short, Thornton in their typical full house backfield. Libby off the left side. They almost do that every time until they stop it, I guess. He should have the first down, I think, depends on the mark. It's going to be close.
It becomes a matter of will because by formation you have tendencies, and the tendency certainly that spot came back and the TA fans aren't happy. That's the groan you heard, folks.
I'm saying it's not a first down based on when they moved it back, when I first saw it. I see Gary Stevens, Athletic Director of Thornton, walking down in front of us here.
Jeff, you got a line on that spot down there?
I think it's going to be short by a link or so. I didn't like the spot, but it looks like it's going to be short the way where the referee spotted it. We'll check it out right here, but I thought he got the ball up farther. Oh, there it is. It's good by link. Wow, that was really close. Just like I said, it's good by link.
Hey, this is live. This is live TV now. You can't read.
You can't edit it. You can't edit it, Jeff.
Oh well.
First news for Thornton Academy.
First time we've been wrong this half.
Of course.
Clock running now as we near the 2-minute mark. 1st and 10, Thornton Academy. The ball inside the 20 of South Portland. Thornton again leading 7-6. An excellent matchup here. Both teams really trying their best. Libby fakes and then throws a pass, and Tarbox went down around the shoe tops and came up with a catch.
What an athletic play that was. We said that out of the Wildcat. We wondered when they would throw the ball. What Libby does here, he gets the snap. He takes one duck to the inside to set up the run fake. Then he came up and shot the ball down by the shoe tops, and somehow Dakota Tarbox went down and picked that up for a tough 5-yard gain.
Joey Tobias on the tackle. 2nd and 6, Thornton. Ball on the 15-yard line. 1:25 to go, moving clock. Libby on the Wildcat. Libby is inside the 5, marking about the 2.5 probably. 1st and goal, Trojans.
Well, Chris Madden with the pull from the right to the left. Madden, the guard, led the way. He stepped around, led up through the hole on the quarterback keeper there out of the Wildcat. Madden became the lead blocker from his guard position. Nice execution up front, and lots of times you don't get to see that on your screen that well, but certainly, and Jim is good at pointing that out. Good job.
We got a timeout on the field. Yeah, let's go down to Jeff Christenberry and Tyler Carteret again.
Hey, we're getting a lot of airtime today. But obviously, as you guys mentioned, a great play by Dakota Tarbox on that play. It really did look like he was right on his shoestrings, and it's the first time we've really seen them pass out of the Wildcat. Yeah. We always have talked about what are they going to do to change it up. I think what you'll see here, probably a full house play, you think, or, I mean, the Wildcat's been working very well, so it's definitely going to be an Andrew Libby getting the ball. Either it's going to be through the Wildcat or through, what are you seeing right now, obviously, Thornton Academy being able to drive the ball pretty well, and obviously that big 3rd down play to was a big part of it.
Well, they're really using all their offensive weapons right now. They're being diverse, and they have a good balance between the run and the pass. I think that's very important, and that's why they're moving down the field with such ease at this point.
And Rob, what do you think that Coach Keys was talking about in the huddle right now? Probably talking about ball control, correct? Making sure you hold on to that ball to get this touchdown.
Absolutely. 2 hands on the ball. I like the way they've been running their full house backfield. They have really been effective with it. It's a matter of will down here. If they come out in straight T, they go left side. South Portland knows it. You tell your lineman, listen, you take your guy in the end zone, the whole team scores, we score 6.
That's right.
First and goal from the 3. Full house backfield. Christensen to Remus, and John Remus thrown back. It appeared to be a little mistiming coming out of the snap.
Well, what they did is they lined up full house. They've been going left. They probably go 85% to the left side. This time they ran the power play to Remus to the right side. And the execution, as Jim, you pointed out right out of the gate there, was a little bit flawed. It took a little bit of time to happen, and they weren't able to execute it as well.
Actually a loss on the play. Salvatore and Tobias, defensive stop for South Portland. Andrew Libby off the left side is going to be stacked up. He might have got that yard back, but not much more. South Portland digging in, and Thornton's going to call a timeout with 42.8 seconds to go first half.
Good timeout. South Portland got to give them credit. They've dug in here defensively, and they have sold out on 2 plays in a row on run. So you got to think now. TA's going to go and think about this and say, okay, maybe we spread them out and try to get Libby on a wildcat run up inside after we spread the defense out, or they'll stay tight and maybe they'll have Christensen on a keeper or a bootleg off that straight T action. One of the considerations you got to make right here is you've got to decide for yourself as a coach, what are we going to do on 4th down? So Coach Kiesel's got to decide, are we going to take points? Are we going to kick on 4th down if we don't make it, or are we going to go for it? Because that'll affect your play call. If you're going to kick the field goal on 4th down, you've got 3 yards to get. You're talking about some type of play action or something like that, a rollout with Christensen, maybe look for the wide body tie box matched up against a smaller defensive back. I'll have an idea of it when I see the offensive set.
And again, the ball now back at the 3, so 2 plays, net yardage 0.
Right. Good job by the Red Riots defense here. This is a crucial juncture in this game. Jim, you've talked a lot about momentum being fleeting. Somebody wants to grab it going in the locker room, and they're going to grab it. Speaking of halftime, Tom Chad, Portland Press Herald, will join us up here in the pavilion.
They got Bobby Beegan, number 53, in the backfield as a fullback. Libby in the Wildcat. Libby takes it. Beegan trying to lead the way, and Libby's going to be short. So big decision time.
He's really close. Take another timeout. Look at the stripe. Now, I'm not going to kick it. I'm going to go right here.
Yeah.
Here's what they did that time, Jim. They came out. That's an extra point play that they run when they need the 3 yards. So you go to the extra point offense because that's basically what they needed right there. They came out in the Wildcat, but instead of the spread Wildcat, it was the power Wildcat. They brought Beegan in the game as an extra running back and a blocking situation, and that basically was what we used to run in the side yard at Mom and Dad's house. Student body right. Everybody pulled to the right. They tried to get Libby in behind the Armada going to the right side. Red Riots did a pretty good job of standing up to that, but they're inside. Jeff, they must be inside about the 1 yard line down there, aren't they?
It's just outside the 1 yard line, and I agree. I heard they were going to may run that kind of play. Everybody crashes to the right, got some yards, and I really think if you were at Thornton Academy, you go in the T formation, you give it to Andrew Libby. That's your bread and butter play all year. Your best player. I like the call going for it on 4th down. You got to put it in his hands and see what happens.
Okay, I see Beegan in the backfield again. Also, Cody Lynn, number 18, is in the game. I don't see Tarbox. Libby in the Wildcat. Libby trying to get close. Let's see if they mark it. Touchdown, Trojans, as he sort of dove underneath and made it into the end zone. That was close.
That was very close, Jeff. He just got that ball over the line. I don't think he made it by much.
No, I think when I saw it looked like he did go over the line, but it was very close. They came out in the same formation, but just opposite, and they ran the play. I mean, with Bobby Beegan as the lead blocker, that's somebody I'd want to be following behind. So a big play there from Thornton Academy because South Portland gets the ball after the second half. 30 seconds to go. South Portland probably don't do much of this, so 14-6, not a bad lead for Thornton Academy heading into halftime.
Cody Meserve, the long snapper, the sophomore. Christensen is the holder. Brandon Briggs been very successful this year. High snap, Christensen gets it down. It looks good. And it is good. So as they come back up the field, 30 seconds to go in the first half, Western Maine Class A semifinal, Thornton Academy 14 and South Portland 6.
Makes it an 8-point game. That means a touchdown and conversion to tie, a 2-point conversion to tie. Remember, Jeff had alluded to the fact that missed extra point could be big, and they'd be chasing it. The chase is on, and certainly that's something that's going to factor in here as we go through the rest of this. And that was a big momentum changer, because here's what happens. Obviously, you score, you get great momentum. But as Jeff just told us, the kickoff second half, South Portland deferred. So what's going to happen? You know, they're going to get the ball. So you wanted to make sure you got points out of that drive right there.
Let's see what Thornton does on the kick. We know that Briggs has the leg. The ball doesn't seem to be carrying as well today for whatever reason. Pretty calm wind. Or do you squib kick it?
I kick it down, right down the middle, because you almost gave up a touchdown to Medici on the other kickoff. You kick this thing down and make it bounce a few times.
Brandon Briggs has played soccer last year and certainly contributed to the football team as his junior.
There you go.
Sort of half and half kick, and that's going to get into the end zone, and they say automatic touchback.
Yeah, the impetus of the ball was provided by the kick team. Doesn't matter if the receiving team touches that. If it goes out through the end zone, it is a touchback, the old impetus of the ball.
Yeah, we've seen players at higher levels sometimes think they have to go back and pick that ball up, and then it becomes a real mess when they get hit and fumble it. What do you think? South Portland going to take a knee, or will they try a basic play or bag of tricks play?
Well, I don't think you can do bag of tricks, because that could backfire.
I always want to do the bag of tricks. I know. You coaches stop me.
You can go out call one at halftime. Have Jeff and Tyler do one for you.
Salvatore, handoff to Tobias. Of course, he could break one at any time. Trying to get to the outside. Joey Tobias down that far side to Tarbox, 85, who is okay. I was concerned he wasn't on that last offensive set, but he's okay. So quite a long gain now. Still 21 seconds to go. The ball's going to be marked. Went from the 20 to down to the 41.
Yeah, now you take a shot. Now you see why Coach Stinson's calling the timeout right now. He's thinking, okay, now maybe we'll take a shot down the field, see what happens. Put it up, try to get one of our big guys to make a play down the field, and that's what you look for in this situation right here. And if you're a TA, they'll go into prevent and see what's going on with that. See if we got any other scores from Eastern Maine. Let's see. They're all last night. Trying to find a score as I'm on the Twitter at Trape. It's no score in the Trape game. Trape's a nice story here in the state of Maine, as they are a playoff team after years of not being competitive. That's a terrific job.
I think they went through a couple of years when they scored like 24 points on the season or something.
Chevrolet's pouring it on now. Third play of the second half just underway there. They're a half hour ahead of us, 31-0. So all those geniuses that said, well, Chevrolet has lost Cook. Daring played him tough. We think Daring will win. Chevrolet doesn't react. They just go out and execute.
Right here, South Portland trying to execute. Salvatore going down that sideline to Gadar. Gadar, again, using his basketball-type skills on the football field, tried to corral it, but it went over his head.
Well, it makes absolute sense to go to Logan Gadar, as he's the primo receiver out there. We saw him with a big catch earlier in the game and almost muscled his way into the end zone. He's got great leaping ability, as Jim told you, basketball player, and but the ball went out of bounds there that time, as good coverage, as the safeties are at about 25 yards deep for TA.
17 seconds to go, first half. Salvatore fakes. Again, trying to get Gadar. I think Gadar got a foot down. Referee says, no, you didn't. Incomplete, out of bounds.
What they did that time, they faked the quick out to Gadar. They knew the safeties were deep and they were in a cover two, which meant the corners were pressing. They would stay in the flat. So there was that big scene there. They tried to get it to Gadar in space and try to make him have something happen, but it didn't work out there as he was out of bounds.
Down to 7.6 seconds, third down. Again, today's game, a cooperative production of Thornton Academy Television, who again has, led by General Manager Jeff Christenberry, has a studio right on site here, along with Munzing Media playing a big part in this, and the newspapers of MaineToday.com. And again, as Rob said, when people all join together, work cooperatively at any level, whether it's school, life, jobs, or sports, good things happen.
Good things happen, and we've had a lot of people, Jim, come in on this pilot project as we've worked this through with some bugs, of course, but we're very pleased with the way things have worked out. I've got an email into the fine folks at Levitt High School. I'm hoping to have the Easton B championship game next Friday night from Levitt High School.
All right, might be the last play of the first half. Salvatore down deep and incomplete. And let's see, the clock never started.
Salvatore's pass is incomplete, intended for back.
Actually, we gained time on that.
On the play for the Trojans was Andrew Libby. 4th down 10.
That pass intended for Porter. He went high in the air, fell to the ground. I think they reset the time is what they did.
I think that's exactly what happened. That discussion with the official before was to reset some time.
Now, do you send everybody here trying to block this punt?
I do.
With 11 seconds? Looks like everybody.
I absolutely do.
The line of scrimmage. 10 players at the line of scrimmage. Horton in punt formation. And an excellent job by the South Portland line. Libby did not make the fair catch. Caught it, immediately tackled. Sort of a dangerous catch that time.
By Andrew Libby, brought down by Teddy LaFay.
Teddy LaFay, I'll tell you, he's tough. Number 5 for South Portland, 5'5", 150. He's not afraid to stick his nose in.
Yeah, he was a gunner on that on the right side, came down, and I was surprised, one, that Libby caught the ball. I was doubly surprised that it wasn't a fair catch. I think that would have been a punt. Maybe you don't put anybody back there, and you just let it go, and because you're going to go into kill the clock mode right here anyway.
They're going to take a knee, and that's going to do it for the first half of action. Western Maine Class A semifinals. Hoping you enjoy this one in the state of Maine, around the country, and around the world. And as they go into the locker room, it's Thornton Academy leading South Portland at the half, 14-6.
Chevrolet Stags 45. Daring Rams.
Very quickly, the scoring in this first half. 6:11 to go in the first period. Andrew Libby, an 11-yard run. Brandon Briggs' kick was good. South Portland got on the board. 10:17 to go in the second period. Quarterback Mike Salvatore faked me out. He also faked some Trojans out. He faked it to Bias inside. Salvatore bootlegged it around the left side from 2 yards out. The kick was blocked. And with 30 seconds to go in the half, Thornton scored the second touchdown. Andrew Libby, after a tough defensive stand by South Portland, Libby finally got it to go on 4th down from the 1. And Brandon Briggs' kick makes it 14-6 at the half. Let's send it down to Jeff Christenberry and Tyler Carteret for some words.
Thanks, guys. Obviously, Thornton Academy up 14-6 here, and as there's a score update, you may have heard it, 45-0 Cheverus. So that game is totally over. So the winner of this game will be going to Cheverus next week. So who do you think the team's going to be? Obviously, looking at Thornton Academy, came back. That was a huge touchdown on 4th and 1. We talked about it, obviously, going with that new kind of formation with Bobby Beegan in there. And how important is it to get the ball in Andrew Libby's hands? He's had 2 touchdowns today, and he just keeps going.
I think it's really important to get in Andrew Libby's hands. He's such a diverse playmaker. He just makes something out of nothing all the time, whether it's on as a wide receiver, or as a running back, or even in the Wildcat. He just has a knack for finding the holes, finding the openings, and really getting downfield and finding the end zone too. He's their big end zone guy. I think it's really important to get the ball in his hands, and I really do think the Thornton Academy is going to be the team playing Cheverus next week. They just have seemed very solid on offense. They've settled down. They've settled down on offense. They seem very solid on defense.
Now, obviously, a lot of mistakes in the first half, in the first quarter, that is, turnovers. Yeah. Second quarter, no turnovers, but some penalties. So, who do you think? What's important about not making mistakes? We talked about it all game today.
It's a huge part.
It is a huge part. And so, Thornton Academy with the lead, do you think that's going to maybe? Do you think it's conservative play calling, or do you think you may still see him open it up, throw a few passes, which ended up helping him on the touchdown drive?
I think they're going to go for a couple different passes because not that they're living life on the edge right now, but they've taken a couple risks in this first half and taken a couple shots, and it's worked out largely in their favor. So I think they're going to keep doing that in the second half, and of course really settle down, make sure you don't get those penalties. Those can be killer. We've seen that in a couple drives today, and also in this game that they played in week 2 earlier in the season. We saw that there were a lot of penalties that killed drives for both of these teams. I think they're so similar on offense and defense that a lot of times it's the team that blinks first, makes the first mistake, that usually is the loser.
Yeah, and obviously 14-6, South Portland, as we said, does get the ball in the first possession.
Yeah.
How important is it then for them to score? I mean, there's a lot of game left. There's 2 quarters left. Anything can happen. But do you think that they need at least a drive to get the momentum and also field position? Field position is huge, as we saw on the big penalty, the pass interference, which led to TA getting good field position, led to their second score. So how important is that first drive for South Portland in the second half?
I think it's extremely important. I think they do need to come down and they need to score, because looking at this Thornton Academy team compared with South Portland and TA have very comparable offenses. They can go back and forth, but South Portland's defense has had a very hard time stopping Thornton Academy, stopping Andrew Libby specifically. So I think to stay in this game, to keep their heads in this game, they really need to go down, put some points on the board, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, just make it a close game, and that'll keep this Thornton Academy offense on its heels just a little bit.
And I think you're going to see, again, a lot of DeBias in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, he just gets really low to the ground. I think we've been talking about it, and that's what makes him such an effective runner. Yes, he's fast. Yes, he's got some moves, but he gets so low to the ground, it's very hard to tackle.
He just pushes that pile, too. He's got a lot of strength on the line, and he just pushes, and he doesn't necessarily need a gap. He really just finds guys that he can really run over, basically, as he's moving down the field.
Now, we've seen Thornton Academy do a couple unorthodox plays out of the Wildcat. Haven't seen a whole lot from South Portland, obviously.
Yeah.
I think they may open up the playbook in the second half, especially if it's the same score. Let's say it's 8 minutes to go, it's still the same score. Do you think they're going to open up that playbook, or do you stick with your bread and butter? I mean, what do you think they're going to do in the fourth quarter?
I really think you got to open up your playbook a little bit, because at that point, their season is going to come to an end in about 8 minutes if they don't score. So they really need to find something that works, and I think that by doing so, you need to open up your playbook, find a play that maybe TA didn't see in the film. They haven't run a lot this year. Those are sometimes the plays. They can be big failures, but they can also create a lot of success.
And lastly, Eric Christensen for Thornton Academy managed the game very well. He's got a couple of completions, but how important is his role in the second half, keeping his calm head and not making any big mistakes when they do decide to throw the football?
Well, we talked about how in a lot of games this season, early on, he's been very nervous to throw the ball. On the flip side, it's also very, very important that he doesn't get too confident and start putting the ball where it shouldn't be and making passes that are ill-advised. It's very important that he keeps a level head, make a couple passes here and there, nothing too gutsy, and then, of course, give the ball to Nick and Andrew and all those guys, let them run as well.
All right, well, we got about 10 minutes to go here at halftime. We're going to send it back up to the booth to get an interview with Tom Trout from Portland Press Herald, but we'll be back in the second half. Again, the score, Thornton Academy 14 and South Portland 6.
Some more running room, and I think they can because they've got real good receivers in Logan Gadar and Medici and Porter too.
Well, they certainly have the big play capabilities. You've just got to protect the football in playoff football, and you can't have no mistakes in the kick game. A couple of mistakes, the missed extra point, as Jeff told us, they're going to be chasing those points for the rest of the game. So let's say they come out and they get a drive going, do you kick or do you try to chase that point and get the 2-point conversion?
It's a game. It's like playoff games. The turnovers are even more magnified. I mean, early in the game, South Portland got down there, and you could see Thornton get a little down on themselves. South Portland's moving the ball. If South Portland punches it in first, maybe we got a little, that boosts their confidence. All of a sudden, the ball's going down the other way. They score on first down, and they're sky high. So it's a game that can just turn on a dime.
Well, absolutely. I know both coaches are going to be in the locker room, and they're going to have the same message for both teams. They're going to be saying, listen, win the third quarter. Don't try to look at the end of the game or anything else like that. Win the third quarter. Let's win the first drive of the quarter. Exactly. That's what you'll look to do, and then try to grab the momentum and get it going for you a little bit. There have been some nice stories in Maine high school football, as there always are. We were talking about Trape Academy. Isn't that a nice story?
It sure is.
A team that was down and out. I know you guys have been following them a little bit, had some good stuff in there this week about them. But as a former coach, I root for the kids that are playing with programs that haven't had success, and this is a nice story with Trape.
Trape's a great story. Their program was really down and out, and they've come back real strong. In fact, they gave Yarmouth a heck of a game midway in the season. So I don't know what's happening down there today with Maranacook, but they could be in a Western Maine final. And another good story is Westbrook, who really struggled in Class A. They were one of the smallest schools, if not the smallest school in Class A. And going to B has really been a godsend for him, giving him confidence. No one wants to play for a losing program. It's tough to get kids out for a losing program. Right. I mean, that's been documented. But when you start to win, it gets the excitement going, and kids want to come out. And Jeff Gretz done a nice job at Westbrook, and hopefully that will continue.
Great. Well, if you want all the best in high school sports coverage, we're heading into the finals of the football season. We'll have regional finals next week. Tom Chard and his buddies over at the Portland Press Herald, that's the place to find all the great coverage. Tom, I want to thank you for that. We want to thank the paper again. So we'll have some more halftime activities. Let's take a look at what's heading out on the field as Jeff will move the camera around, and we'll be back for second half action after we take a break.
Kicking to South Portland, who South Portland won the toss, elected to defer until the second half. Athletic Director Gary Stevens of Thornton Academy just handed me the attendance, 1,886. And South Portland has certainly brought a good crowd across the way. And again, Thornton does provide a very good set of bleachers for the visiting teams here.
Best I've seen, absolutely the best I've seen in any stadium here in the state of Maine, that's for sure. We want to let you know that this game is brought to you by Saco and Biddeford Savings with convenient locations in Saco, Biddeford, Old Orchard Beach, Scarborough, South Portland, and Westbrook. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Visit us on the web at sbsavings.com. We thank you for your sponsorship so that we can bring this game out to the airwaves through the portal that is Maine Today Media. I want to let you know upcoming live stream events that we're looking at. We are waiting for a confirmation from Leavitt High School. I think we will have that, and we will be on the air Friday night for the Class B rematch. An excellent regular season game, a 22-16 game, Jim, as Mount Blue fell to Leavitt. Leavitt is on a roll. If you don't follow Easton Class B football, Leavitt has made a statement that they are the premier program. Mount Blue down from Class A, the PTC, playing in B this year, and we think that is going to be a classic matchup here. We'll have it for you on the papers of MTM Friday night at about 6:45.
Get your snowmobile suit ready. Again, for late tuners in, Thornton scored first, 6:11 to go, first period. Andrew Libby, 11-yard run. The kick by Brandon Briggs made it 7-0. South Portland scored 10:17 to go in the first half. Mike Salvatore, 2-yard run. The kick was blocked by the middle of the Thornton defense. And then with 30 seconds to go in the half, Andrew Libby, a 1-yard run. Brandon Briggs, the kick, makes it 14-6 as Briggs kicks off to South Portland. And we have whistles before we even start here.
Offsides TA, that's the only thing that can stop that, and that's what we see across the way. It's going to be offsides, move it back 5.
Offsides penalty on the
And
Trojans.
we'll quickly do the scoreboard. Last night, Eastern A, Bangor 42, Brunswick 14, Lawrence 28, Messalonsky 13. Deering at Chevrolet today. Of course, Chevrolet's way out in front, 31-0, I believe, last time we heard that score.
45-0 now.
Okay, time moves on. Chevrolet doesn't skip a beat. Eastern B, as Rob said, Mount Blue winning. They beat Gardner 35-14. Leavitt 47, Hamden 22. In Western B, Wells 23, Westbrook 6. Mountain Valley 13, Cape Elizabeth nothing. Wells and Mount Valley in the Western B Championship next week. Class C, Bucksport over Foxcroft Academy. Orono over John Baptist in the East. Yarmouth winning in the West. Marana Cook at Trape today. And we have more trouble for Thornton as the ball goes out of bounds. And now that comes out, what, to the 40-yard line?
Execution in the kick game is paramount in playoff football. Offsides on the first kick. That was a deep kick by Briggs as he drove it down inside the 10-yard line on the original one. And now this one goes out of bounds. And you'll have a choice. You can have him kick it again. You can move him back 5 yards and have him kick it again. I think they'll just take it out at the 40-yard line. We'll see. They're going to move him back.
They're going to kick again? Wow, I'm surprised.
Well, I mean, I think maybe they want Medici to get another chance at one back there.
Gadar and Medici deep for the Red
Gadar
Riots.
is also a threat back there, as we've seen. So I think they say, okay, Briggs, you kick it as far as we can. I think we can get a return on you. Remember how we talked about paramount field position here? They could get the field position just off the kickoff as they're back 10 yards on. They're going to kick off on the 30-yard line.
Thornton leading 14-6 on the campus of Thornton Academy. Once in a while, you might get a shot in the beyond the right end zone as we look down. The second of the Thornton Academy dorms. A lot of foreign students coming. It's named after Carl and Barbara Stasio. Carl DeStasio will retire as headmaster at the end of this year. Brandon Briggs going to squib this one. One of the upbacks picks it up. that's Tobias, and he's dangerous. He gets over the 40 to about the 43-yard line.
There's your field position.
So the Red Riots first and 10 from their old 43.
Yeah, we certainly want to welcome any of the dorm students, families that are watching us around the world, and let you know that we are going to powwow after this football season, and we're going to get together with the partners that have made this happen in this pilot project, and we are looking for big things. Coverage of beyond sports is our plan here.
First and 10, Red Riots. Salvatore, the quarterback, throws to that right sideline. That's complete to Horton. Horton just about midfield before he's brought down by a number of Trojan tacklers.
Salvatore's pass is complete.
Here's what I like about Salvatore. You take a look and he doesn't have the gun for an arm. He doesn't have the prototypical look of a quarterback. But what he's got, Jim, he's got a quick release. He gets that ball out very quickly, and although he doesn't have the strong arm, that quickness will make up for it.
Remus and Began on the tackle. I see 41, Josh Seard, in the defensive backfield as we come out for this half. Second down, South Portland. And Tobias going to be thrown back by the interior of the line and a flag.
Luke Libby came in again from his right side, slanted to the left side. So they played the formation and the tendency. Libby made the initial hit, and somebody grabbed onto the equipment.
Wow. Is that going to be 5 or 15?
I think they called it the big boy.
Wow. I'm not saying it wasn't correct, but, I mean, it was a direct handoff. They stacked them up.
You know, TA played a pretty clean first half, and the opposite has started out in this half. Penalties off the kickoff.
Excuse me, Rob. First and 10, South Portland. What I'm saying is sometimes you see somebody slung to the ground by the face mask, and certainly could have happened interior. South Portland trying to take advantage. Tobias, one of those runners, always seems to fall forward.
Brought down by Bobby Began.
Tobias has got quick feet, and he's got a fearless attitude in there between the tackles. You know, you say, well, he's not that big a guy, but he gets himself going north and south. He'll get downhill. He'll get those pitter-patter feet going very quickly. And if he gets a seam there at the second level, I mean, he can go from second level to third level to bye-bye very quickly.
Second down, 6 from the 32.
32-yard line is where the ball is. Second and 6. Compton resets on the left side as the tight end. Salvatore going to keep. Salvatore cuts it up. He's at the 25, and he's going to be right at the 20-yard line. Should be a first down, South Portland.
Well, South Portland, you know, they got talked to in the locker room how important this first drive of the third quarter would be, and they got some breaks with penalties, and they have cashed in here, and they're knocking.
It's good for a Red Riots first down. They'll have a first and 10 from the Trojans' 20.
Again, that offensive line of South Portland, I see Freddie DeGaldo, Ryan Ely, 62. Cody Munson, 63. Sean Whistler, 67, among others. Compton in motion, going to reset. Horton nearest to us. Salvatore completes a pass. And loose ball in there. Let's see what they're going to call. South Portland might have jumped on it. Looks like it was saved. That was Max Porter with the reception.
Salvatore's pass is complete to Max Porter. Brought down by Josh
I think he recovered his own fumble.
I think he did. It was certainly a reception, no question about it. He got the ball, made a football play, turned back to the inside. The ball got stripped. I think Porter was able to get back on it.
Also 54, Connor McVeigh in that line. Second down, South Portland, trailing 14-6. And Tobias, a short gain. I see Luke Libby, 67.
Brought down by Bobby Began.
Bobby Began again on the tackle, getting a call from Paul Remus on the PA.
Third down, 1.
Bobby Began came into this game with 91 tackles. Andrew Libby, 76. John Remus, 71, the leaders for Thornton. Third and about 1, maybe even less than 1. South Portland on this opening drive of the second half. Salvatore under center. Long count. Hands off to Tobias. He's going to get the first down. A short game, but he didn't need much.
Yeah, he burrowed for that first down up over the right side on the power play. Got a low running profile, got in behind the big offensive line, just burrowed his way down through.
Also winning the stop, Bobby Began. Play results in a South Portland first down. They'll have a first and goal from the 9.
First and goal from the 9, so they're going to have to punch it in here. Salvatore in the spread. Hands to Tobias. Joey Tobias off the right side. Libby finished it off. It looks like Chris Madden might have got the initial contact.
The ball carrier brought down by Chris Madden and Andrew Libby.
Yeah, Madden with the trip up, Libby with the finish. It looked like it had potential as we're well high up. We have a great view. Really a nice running lane opened up there, but it was closed by Madden. Threw his body, actually, into the running lane is what he did.
2nd and goal from the 7. Salvatore inside handoff, and that's going to be stacked up by the middle of that Thornton line. I think that was Max Porter in there on the carry.
Yeah, they got a good push that time. Libby got a good push from his defensive right tackle position. Didn't make the tackle, but stood his ground, let the second-level defenders come in and make the play at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Ball resting at the 5-yard line. 3rd down, the Red Riots. Salvador draws back. He wants to pass across the middle. Batted down by Libby. Libby got inside position on Logan Gadar, and he went up high. 4th down.
Intended for Logan Gadar.
I think they're going for the field goal here.
Gadar was split left side, took a wide split, ran the quick slant route. Libby read it immediately, and he knew that was slant. So rather than playing the player, he came up and played the window. The window opens up to the inside. Libby ran to it and made the play.
Brendan Horton with Jordan Muller, who started the year as a quarterback, got hurt in the Thornton game.
Brendan Horton
will be the holder, number 4. It's a good snap. The kick looks good, and it is good from about 22 yards out. Making it 14-9, Thornton Academy, as they come back up the field. Jeff Christenberry, your thoughts from field level?
Yeah, well, obviously a big drive for South Portland there. They really were able to move the ball at will, Tyler, but obviously a big stop there for Thornton Academy. And as I mentioned, having first down and goal at the 9 is not exactly the nice position, but great play by Libby there in the 3rd down to stop. What do you think now? You're coming back here. Thornton Academy really needs some points because they're not now in the driver's seat where, if South Portland gets the ball back, they can drive in and get a touchdown.
Right, it's very important that they stay level-headed and that they really play the offense that they did earlier in the game in the first half, because their defense looks a little bit worn down right now. It'd be nice to get a long drive, really score some points, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, and just come out of here with that lead once again.
All right, ideally, Thornton Academy, again, looking at the field position, you guys have talked about it all game.
Yeah.
Even if they don't score, if they can get the ball around the 50 and pin South Portland deep, they'll be in good shape.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, guys, down in the field. Again, Jim Toomey on the play-by-play, Rob Munzing on the color, cameraman Jeff Scott, technical support Nate Munzing. Halftime guest was Tom Chard of the Portland Press-Herald. General manager of TA-TV, Thornton Academy Television, Jeff Christenberry on the field with Tyler Carteret and Carl Smith earlier. Horton kicks off, sort of a squib kick. Going to be picked up by Libby. 20, 25, 30, 35, over the 40. Nothing fancy, Rob, pretty much straight up the field.
I'll tell you the coaching axiom that I always use in kick game. Keep it simple, stupid. And I used to say that to myself on kick game. You don't want to get too complicated on kick game.
Is that when you looked in the mirror?
Exactly right. Looked in the mirror every morning and said, kiss. Made sure that you kept it simple. You know why? Because you don't have time. You don't have specialists that's all they do is kick game. Your kick game guys are your special athletes, and they dedicate themselves like the pros do. You don't have just a kid. Well, the TA does, but most of the time you want to keep it simple.
45, Deering Ram 0.
45-0. Chevrolet has defeated Deering. I'll tell you, last year Deering made a comeback. I was under the goalposts, as close as I could legally be, when Jamie Ross kicked what would have been a winning field goal. It was over the upright. It wasn't inside, but you know what? It wasn't outside. They couldn't call it, but that's how close Deering got last year. Right now, business at hand, and that has Nick Kenny,
the ball carrier,
with a good first down carry.
Yeah, nice first down carry because South Portland sold out on run blitz that time. Halftime adjustment for them. They decided, hey, wait a minute. You know what? TA's not throwing the ball on first down at all. We're going to play our run defense. We're going to get after them in the run game. And they came after them, and they still picked up 5-6 yards with Kinney.
Joey Tobias on the tackle. 2nd and 5, the Golden Trojans from their own 47-yard line. In motion is Libby. Again, it's Kenny, and he's going to be bulldogged down by one of the South Portland tackles. Number 60 in there with a nice tackle. Zach Gillette, senior, 5'8", 200 pounds, very quick in there. It's going to be 3rd and, well, about maybe 4.5.
Yeah, not a big defense for the Portland Red Riots. They run pretty well and they hit pretty well. That was a big hit that time, as you said, by Gillette as he stepped up in there. And certainly now you're in a passing situation right here or a Wildcat, one or the other.
It is a Wildcat. Christensen to the top of the screen. Tarbox nearest to us. In motion is Kenny. Libby gonna fake and keep it, and let's see. He dove, I think, yeah. That was similar. His final two steps were like when he scored the touchdown. He sort of disappears, and he went low for the extra yardage.
For another Thornton Academy first down.
Jim, here's what great backs do, and I'm going to put Libby in the category of great back, even though he's a sophomore. They do what we call situational running. You have to understand where the stakes are, and you have to run to the situation at hand. You know, a lot of guys are trying to make a break that might break that one and then come up a yard short of the first down. He situationally ran, got the first down.
Same formation. This time, Kenny takes the handoff from Libby, and Kenny's going to be inside the 40-yard line.
You saw how Kenny protected the ball as he went down. Certainly cognizant of the fact that they need to maintain possession of the football on this drive. As Jeff told you from the field, he and Tyler were talking about how important it would be to give that defense a rest, and that's exactly what's happening now as the offense for TA is clicking, moving the chains. They got a second and shot, and they're well on their way into the Red Riots territory at about the 41.
14-9, Thornton leading. Very quick moving third period, 5:20 to go. Thornton on a drive. And South Portland on the tackle. Nick Kenny stacked up. Number 63, Cody Munson, junior lineman, 220 pounds. Really had that one well scouted.
Yeah, the battle of the trenches that time won by the Red Riots. Anytime you see a play blown up at the mesh point where the quarterback gives the ball to the running back, that is going to be the job of the forcing unit. Usually those inside guys have won their battle. They did that time. Munson made the play.
Keith Parento, the center, leads them out. Looks like the Wildcat again. This time Christensen is nearest to us. Libby on the run. He was grabbed from behind before he could get underway. Penetration, Zach Compton, number 9. And then Tobias finished. I saw Zach Compton in that offensive backfield.
Compton came from the backside guard pulled as they were going right side. Compton ran through that hole there that time, made the play.
The Trojans, Andrew Libby.
Thornton did gain a little ground as far as field position, but they're certainly coming up short here on a 4th and 4. The Trojans in punt formation. Logan Gadar, the only South Portland Riot back to receive this punt from Andrew Libby. Cody Meserve, long snapper. And goes in the end zone. Josh Sear hustling down there, but again, sort of an artificial turf bounce. South Portland first and 10 from their own 20. 3:49 to go. Third period. Thornton Academy 14. South Portland 9.
Red Riots close to blocking that punt, Jim, as they came with a 10-man rush that time. Sold out. They knew they weren't probably going to get a return. Usually you see that single guy back there. That means the other team's going to come with a rush, and they did. And Libby did a good job to get that one off, and he killed it and put it in the end zone.
Coach Steve Stinson had a brief talk with his offense. Head coach of South Portland, again doing a nice job. Kevin Kiesel in his 12th year at Thornton Academy. So a couple of veteran coaches. Pass to the outside is complete to Horton. Going to be brought down by 53, Bobby Began. And again, that ball hung up just a little bit.
Pass is complete.
But well executed by South Portland.
Little underneath screen out there that time as they were able to get in stride as they hit Horton in stride. And good job by the secondary to make the tackle there. Horton could have broke that one big. As I said, I like the release of Salomon at quarterback here for the Red Riots.
The crowd's sort of in a hush mode right now.
Yeah, not sure how to react to this.
Second and short, South Portland. Salvatore hands off, first down Tobias. Out to the 35, Joey Tobias with a quick hitter. Chris Madden on the tackle for the Trojans.
You got to think the offensive momentum right now is swung to the Red Riots, Jim. I think you can see it. Their offensive line's firing out, getting some creases. They moved the chains on that one. They're out at the 35-yard line, and they've got the only scorer of this quarter.
Gadar, flank nearest to us. Horton at the top of the screen. Let's see what they do on first down. Couple of Riots looking at each other.
They can reset. That's a shift. They can reset. They don't need to take a timeout. Just reset that.
And Coach Stinson says, you know what, let's call a timeout anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, long as there's not two players moving at the snap.
Right, exactly right. That would qualify as not motion, but as a shift. If they went and they reset themselves, it would have been legal. But, hey, listen, it breaks down, you get out of there. We want to remind you this game's brought to you by Saco and Biddeford Savings with convenient locations. And Saco, Biddeford, Old Orchard Beach, Scarborough, South Portland, and Westbrook. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Visit us on the web at sbsavings.com. We want to thank Saco and Biddeford Savings. They have made these games from Thornton Academy possible. This will be our last broadcast of the football season from Thornton Academy as the final has gone at Cheverus, and Cheverus will host the Western A championship game next Saturday.
It is a nice setting over there as you sit on the hill. As long as the weather's okay, Baxter Boulevard, the skyline, Back Bay, all in the background, but
beautiful. Not good for us internet guys,
right.
though.
not good for the media.
not a media haven, that's for sure. Not like here. Oh, my gosh, this is wonderful.
First down, South Portland after they talked it over. Coach Stinson doesn't want to make mistakes, so he used the timeout. Salvatore on the keeper. He was sort of submarined. And Luke Libby, 67, last one to get up.
Brought down by Luke Libby.
Libby, last one to get up, first one to contact.
Gain of a yard brings up second down.
Yeah, as I commented before that timeout, both sides kind of waiting to see what's happened, sort of anticipatory.
Right, I think you're right there. There is where are we headed with this thing right next? It's like you get quiet when you're reading a good book trying to figure out where it's going to go.
I never could figure out who really did it, though. 2:15 on a moving clock, third period, Thornton 14, South Portland 9. And this time there's motion also, and they're going to say somebody false start.
Well, here's what happens. When you do a shift as they did there, you saw it very clearly on your screen. They shifted the tight end from the right to the left. Now, when you make that shift, you have to hold that position for 1 second, completely still. Well, what happened is the shift came and the motion almost simultaneously. That's illegal procedure.
2nd and 14, the Riots with the ball at their own 36-yard line. Salvatore wants the pass. It's intercepted. Thornton Academy with the interception. Kyle Forbes. We saw a number of passes coming at that same angle, Rob. Well executed. But that time, Kyle Forbes sort of read the quarterback's eyes, maybe.
I think Forbes was hidden a little bit. He was down in his stance, took his read steps, came up, reacted on the ball. They threw it right to him. If he hadn't slipped, he might have gone to the house. But another turnover, this time the first of the second half by the Red Riots. But they have given Thornton Academy great field position here, already in 4-down territory.
First down Trojans at the 39 of South Portland. Christensen, direct handoff to Kenny. Kenny chugging, but not much there. Number 60, Zach Gillette on the tackle for the Red Riots.
Gillette's been busy. He's done a good job here today. When you're on defense and you have that turnover, what we all call that as coaches is sudden change, and you actually practice. You have situations where you put your defense out there during the practice week in sudden change situations, and what you have to do is you have to ramp up the emotional level, and you have to make a stop yourself. So that's what the onus is on the Red Riots defense to win this sudden change situation.
And the Red Riots defense really played tough the second half of the season. We'll maybe give you some scores when we get a chance. Handoff to Dylan Morton. Morton wants the pass. Tarbox down there and incomplete as the ball hung up just a little bit. It was Dylan Morton in motion.
Dylan Morton with the halfback pass, incomplete, intended for...
Well executed, about 90% of it maybe.
Yes, as you said, Jim, the ball hung up just a little bit from Morton there. Tarbox broke wide open, and it looked like it was going to be an easy toss and catch here. The ball hung up a little bit. I'm not sure. I think Godard got over there and made the play and leaped up and knocked it down from his safety position.
Tarbox and Godard will go up against each other in the rebounds this winter, and we go inside. Third down play. Christensen sidesteps and throws. That ball's knocked away. Intended for Tarbox, but excellent defense, Dan Medici.
Christensen's pass incomplete.
Medici almost had himself a pick there, Jim, as Christensen tried to buy himself some time in the pocket, made a move, got himself reset, tried to get it to Tarbox, not able to get the connection going here. They're going to be 4th and 9, and the ball is at the 32, so they're going to go for it here. South Portland is a play away from winning this sudden change situation. It'll be a huge lift for them if they can do it.
Let's see, 4th and 9. Morton nearest to us. Christensen, back to pass. Complete to Kenny. Kenny dives for the first down on a delayed screen over the middle.
Christensen's pass is complete to Nick Kenny.
First down, Trojans.
Big pick up there, Jeff,
yes,
on the screen pass.
Yes, it was, obviously. Going back to the interception quickly, it was great. South Portland's been running that play over and over again. It was about time before someone jumped it, and that was a great play called by Coach Kiesel on 4th down. You know, 4th and 9, not exactly a coach's dream, as you'll attest to, but great play there, and this could be really a game-clinching drive if they get down here and score.
I'm glad you restrained yourself, Jeff. Looks like you were going to jump in and make a play at one time. Christensen trying to make a play here. Tar box! Touchdown, Trojans! Christensen to tar box for 6.
Coach Kiesel went for the kill. Went for the kill right there. I like the call. Picked up the big 4th and 9. Right back to the air, right to tar box. Got single coverage on the outside. Ran the goal line fade. Christensen put it up and away, up over the defender. Tar box in the left corner of the end zone. Only needs 1 foot in bounds. I think he got both in. It was a great throw and great catch and fantastic execution there on that play. That's the play you run all summer. When coach is out here, he says, okay, one more, guys. We got the ball right here. We got to score. They're going for 2.
They're going for 2 because of the point differential. Christensen sprints out, throws back. That's going to be too long. He was sprinting to the right. Tarbox was running the back of the end zone right to left. It was 20 to 9.
The 2-point conversion is no good.
So they wanted to go up by, you coaches have your chart.
Exactly. You have a card with that, and you know, and actually what you do with that situation, Jim, is you're anticipating. You've got a coach, either as a head coach, I used to do it myself, but you might have a coach on the sideline that's running that for you, and he's saying things to the effect of, Coach, if we score, we need to go for 2, have your 2-point play ready to go. And you typically have a list of a couple of 2-point plays that you want to run during the course of the game. What they did that time with Tarbox, lined him up tight end right side, ran what we call drag opposite. Flow came right side, play action pass. Christensen set himself, but well defended there that time by the Red Riots.
So it's 20 to 9. Only 43 seconds to go in this third quarter. Thornton leading South Portland. A real great game here. Big crowd, excellent weather. Hope you're enjoying it around the world. Brandon Briggs kicks off. And that's Medici. He's dangerous. 25 and sort of stumbles. I think Riley Chamberlain on the special teams might have got a piece of Medici, and then Medici lost his footing.
Medici lost his footing at the 21-yard line. I can see the mark on the field as he raised some of that material. Fantastic turf field in here. Was this John Hewitt's company that did this here? Do you know, Jim?
I'm not quite sure.
Northeast Fields. That's John Hewitt. Probably most people that would talk about the history of Maine football would say John Hewitt is the greatest football player to come out of the state of Maine.
We wore number 32, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay, it's trivia answer. Salvatore trying to make his own headline, so to speak, doing an excellent job, but short gain that time. I'm saying Michael Salvatore,
the quarterback keeper,
came on to play for Jordan Muller in that first Thornton game, only the second week in the season. Has played very well on both sides of the ball. Excellent defense by Thornton. 2nd and 9, Red Riots.
So TA will try to dig in defensively, get a 3-and-out if they can, but they can go to a bend, don't break philosophy here. They've got the safeties a little bit deeper, which they should. They just don't want to give up the big play over the top, make South Portland earn it.
Gadar flank nearest to us with Cody Forbes in the area, but before that, we've come to the end of the third period. Western Maine Class A semifinals from Thornton Academy and Saco at the end of 3. Thornton Academy 20 and South Portland 9 before the fourth period starts. Let's go down on the field to Jeff Christenberry.
Thanks, Jim. Obviously, Tyler, 2 big plays for Thornton Academy back-to-back. First, the screenplay on 4th, which we talked about briefly. But then what do you think about Coach Kiesel going for the kill on the next play right after that, going to Dakota Tarbox, who has shown that he can get open today?
That was a great play call right there. You saw he got the separation from the defender and was able to catch that ball with ease. It was really a pretty good throw on Eric's part, too. A very easy score overall, didn't need a lot of effort, and a pretty simple play call at that.
Now, last couple drives for Thornton didn't look that great. I mean, obviously they had to punt into the end zone, and then this drive too looked like it was dead on arrival.
Yeah,
but,
yes.
Obviously now 20-9, two possession game. What do you think? I mean, obviously South Thornton has a chance to score, but can they stop this Trojans offense when they need to?
I think we're going to have a very hard time stopping them because we've seen that Andrew Libby is running on all cylinders today, but now Eric Christensen is getting into form, Nick Kenny is running well, and of course Dakota Tarbach doing a great job getting open. I think they're going to have a very hard time stopping this TA offense and being able to keep up with them through the last quarter of the game.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about it. Mental mistakes is the only thing holding the Trojans back right now. So we're going to take a look. We'll see what they do in the fourth quarter. Yeah. If they don't turn the ball over and they don't commit many penalties, they should be all set to go. So guys, we'll head back up to you for the fourth quarter.
All right, thank you guys down on the field. Again, Jim Toomey along with Rob Munzing up in the booth. Jeff Scott, our main camera. Technical assistance provided by Nate Munzing. South Portland, second down play. Salvatore with some daylight. He's dangerous. Andrew Libby grabs him and hangs on for dear life. Excellent run, Michael Salvatore.
Well, they were in the quarterback keeper play left side, student body left. Found the seam to Salvatore, and he was able to turn it up and get in the secondary and pick up the first down here. As you said, Jim, Libby had to come up and hang on, wait for some help here. But first down, a crucial, absolute scoring need right here for South Portland. They don't need 3, they need 6.
South Portland can strike quickly. They've scored a number of touchdowns this year from big yardage situations. Gadar in motion. Salvatore gonna keep it. Thornton loses him. Gets some support. Contact basically at the line of scrimmage, but that did slow down Salvatore in a short game.
Salvatore, the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, Salvatore came right side, Jim. It was the same play that they had run to the left. Quarterback keeper right side. Salvatore didn't get a clean running lane that time and got dragged down from behind. And, you know, you say they can strike quickly. They need a strike here. We're in the fourth quarter. That third quarter flew.
2nd and 7. Ball resting at their own 41.5-yard line. South Portland trailing 20-9. And a sack! And I think they're going to call a face mask at the end.
Well, it's going to be unfortunate.
Brought down on the backfield by Luke Libby.
Libby came flying through. Libby's played a terrific game from his defensive tackle position here. He came in almost clean, and Salvatore looked downfield, and all he saw was Libby. But I think maybe over the top grab. I don't think it was I think it's going to be a 5-yard face mask. We'll see.
Personal foul face mask penalty on the Trojans.
Now, is that automatic first down?
Yeah, it is an automatic first down. If it's a 5 or 15, it's going to be big boy here. They're going to march off the 15-yard penalty here, and it's going to be an automatic first down. Boy, they really would have had the Red Riots pinned.
Let's see. They haven't.
2nd down and 3.
They're saying 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3, okay. Well, it's a spot foul, so not an automatic first down. I'm sorry.
Salvatore going to keep it once again. He's been successful. And he has a Red Riot first down.
Yeah, Salvatore's a tough kid. I like him a lot. You said he came on in that second game of the season and has played out the season and done a really terrific job for the Red Riots. And they're in the hurry-up mode, Jim. They need to be.
Salvatore senior, 6 feet, 175 pounds.
43.
10:33 on a moving clock. Thornton 20, South Portland 9. Joey Tobias, inside handoff. Mark Bosino, 79, sort of snuffed out that one from the get-go.
Joey Tobias, the ball keeper, brought down by Mark Boissino and Bobby Began. A loss of a yard on the play brings up 2nd down.
Began assisting, actually lost a half a yard on the play. 2nd and 11, Red Riots.
If you haven't heard the Chevrolet score and you're just joining us, 45-0, Chevrolet over Deering.
Horton in motion. Salvatore tucks it under. Running to the sideline, gets to the sideline, and finally Libby knocks him out of bounds, but not before. It's another Red Riot first down.
You may look at that and say, how can that play be successful? There's no deception to it. There's flow immediately. How could that be successful? It's a matter of bodies out in front. You try to get a hat on a hat, give an athlete a chance to make a play, and that's what they've been doing. That's the simplest play. We ran that in the side yard in the 50s.
24-yard line.
Some of us.
Tobias with Horton leading the way. Trojans do better that time coming up. Josh Sear, 41, part of that tackle. John Remus, 33.
Tobias, the ball carrier, brought down by Josh
Let's get down to Jeff Christenberry. Jeff, how's it look down there at ground level?
Well, obviously, that was a great play there by Salvatore, the quarterback for South Portland. He's really able to move the ball right now. So Thornton Academy, get the penalty, and we talked about mistakes, and they got to get off the field here. It's down to go, but because they went for 2 and missed it, South Portland can score, get the 2. We just need a field goal to tie this game up. So Thornton Academy really needs to stop here.
2nd and 7. Salvatore under center, throws to the left sideline. Guess who? Logan Gadar. Gadar shakes the tackle and gets away. Now a flag comes in.
Salvatore's pass is complete to Logan Gadar.
Let's see what they call that far sideline.
It's got to be face mask. It's the only thing they could possibly call there. Yeah,
face mask once again. I thought they were trying to tackle him low. That's why I was puzzled.
I was puzzled too because it didn't really look like they were up around the headgear there, but obviously they were. I mean, we're a little further away than they are.
Well, I say with the good camera work of Jeff Scott and all our colleagues,
from the 5.
and with Nate Munzing on the controls, the fans at home actually get a close look.
They do, Jim. They absolutely do. Absolutely.
Yeah, we go to the binoculars occasionally, but if you do, you lose the perspective on the field. But my perspective right now says 1st and goal, Red Riots from the 5. Salvatore to Tobias. Tobias is close. Let's see where they mark it. And a late flag comes in from the back judge, as they say.
Well, that's got to be a defensive penalty when it comes in that late because the blocking is, you would think it's over, unless they saw something in there that's,
There's a flag on the play.
Well, wait. And you make a very good point, Jim, that the folks at home.
Another face mask on Thornton Academy.
Face mask penalty on the Trojans.
We're down to 8:44.
Half the distance to the goal line.
Thornton 20, South Portland
Replay
9.
First down, 1st and goal from inside the 1.
And of course, as we said, Jim, we're kind of far away, and if we can't see it, we'll embellish it as best we can. But you can often get a better look.
That ball is almost touching the goal line now. You say inside the 1. Looks about a football length away, maybe. Tight formation for South Portland, as you would imagine. Salvatore takes a snap from Ryan Ely. Tobias going to basically walk in for a South Portland touchdown. Joey Tobias.
Touchdown scored by number 2, Joey Tobias.
At 8:23 to go, 4th period.
Well, we set this up at the beginning of that drive, Jim, as this was a crucial situation for the Red Riots, that they needed a score, and they got the score that they needed. And as Jeff told you here, with conversions, they can get this down to a field goal game. The score now is 20-16.
Actually, 20-15.
15, I'm sorry.
It's a new scoreboard. They're going for 2. Salvatore in the pitch out. Tobias breaks the tackle, but give credit to Coda Tarbox. He sort of threw that play off. Penetration by Tarbox. So it's 20-15, which is not a bad call for South Portland because, again, if they made it, it would bring them within 3 field goal ties. Doesn't hurt them that much because now a touchdown, they still can take the lead by 1. But whole lot of football left to be played. This excellent Western Maine Class A semifinal from Dr. Paul S. Hill Jr. Stadium on the campus of Thornton Academy, Saco, Maine, on a perfect Saturday for football. And I'm sure it's good weather down on the field, Jeff Christenberry.
Yeah, well, not very good weather if you're a Thornton Academy fan right now. That was a very easy drive for South Portland. Thornton Academy committing 3 face mask penalties, and Coach Kevin Keels is not going to want to see any more of that. So good news is that Thornton Academy, was up by 5, and because they didn't get that 2-pointer, they need another touchdown. Can South Portland stop Thornton Academy's offense? That's really the question right now. So we'll see what happens. But that was a pretty easy drive if you're a South Portland fan.
Yeah, what you want to do if you're Thornton Academy, Jeff, you would love to go down and get points. You can kick a field goal. If they can get the field goal, that will give them an 8-point cushion back again, Jim. So what TA needs to do is move the chains, chew some clock, go down, get some points. They take a field goal here.
Okay, hope you're enjoying this presentation worldwide. Again, Thornton Academy Television, Munzing Media, and MaineToday.com joining forces to bring this to you. Brendan Horton kicks off. That's going to be Andrew Libby. He's at the 20, 25. Excellent tackle by South Portland. We'll get a number for you in a second.
Kick is returned by Andrew Libby, brought down by Joey DeBias.
Joey DeBias playing on both sides of the ball as well as special team.
That's the best kickoff coverage either team's had today.
And Jordan Muller, again, this original starting quarterback on special teams, making the tackle. He broke his collarbone in that first Thornton game, so it's nice to see him back and getting on the field before his senior season ends. Right now, Thornton trying to pick up some first downs. That's Libby over the 30 to about the 31. Thornton trying to run some clock.
Andrew Libby, the ball carrier.
We'll keep an eye on the clock. It's at 8 minutes. You're absolutely right, Jim. What you would like to have is a chain-moving gang here.
Second down and 6 from
Choose some clock. Don't need to score, love to score, but want to change field position. So if you do have to punt, that you're punting out from about the 45-yard line or so that you can try to pin South Portland deep.
You don't want to be too conservative either.
No.
Nick Kenny for short yardage. Max Porter right there on the stop for South Portland.
Nick Kenny, the ball carrier. Brought down by Brendan Horton.
Brendan Horton getting a call as well.
We've seen Christensen more than capable. He's got a big body out there in tie box. Remember early in the game, tie box ran the quick stay pat. He was wide open, had a big cushion. I think you come back to that up at the top of the screen. Let's see what the pretty decent cushion.
Big third down, to say the least. Christensen wants the pass, and he's not going to get it away. Thornton had a number of receivers downfield.
Down by Zach Gillette.
Zach Gillette having a big defensive game for the Red Riots.
Well, Gillette again is in on a sack. Christensen really never had much time to look there. He looked quickly to his left, couldn't get the ball out in time, and by the time that he was able to try to come back to the tie box on the right side, protection broke down, he was sacked.
Cody Meserve, the long snapper. Andrew Libby in punt formation. Medici and Godard deep for South Portland. High snap, Libby corrals it. Pretty good kick. They're going to let it go. And actually takes a South Portland bounce. Aaron Scott hustles down there so it doesn't bounce any further. So let's see, we're going to mark it. Looks like first and 10 South Portland from about the 39-yard line, their own 39, with 6:26. Plenty of time on the clock. South Portland has 2 timeouts left. It certainly won't play into play this series, but in the end it might play into the final result.
With this much time left on the clock, Jim, nothing is out of the playbook here. You don't have to go hurry up. In fact, you don't want to go hurry up. You want to stay within your rhythm. They just drove the ball down the throat of the Thornton Academy defense here, mostly a lot with quarterback sweeps. Let's see what they go to.
Horton in motion. Salvatore calling signals. He's going to keep it. And I think there's going to be another face mask. Very short gain, or is it going to be holding?
On the quarterback keeper, brought down by Quinlan O'Brien.
It is holding. First, I saw Tarbuck go up high, and I said I finally saw a face mask, and that wasn't it, holding South Portland, so I beg your pardon.
Well, I can see why you'd say face mask, Jim. I mean, you've said it 27 times here so far in this game. I don't know whether I've ever seen so many face masks called, particularly in one drive. I think that may set a career mark for a team on a drive, 3 face mask penalties. But
makes it first and 20. South Portland from their own 30. 6:15 on a moving clock. Thornton 20, South Portland 15. Salvatore to Godard. Godard shakes one tackler, finally brought down by Cody Forbes. Connor McCrum.
Pass is complete to Logan Godard, brought down by Connor McCrum.
I like the call, not trying to go up top. Try to pick it up all in one fell swoop. When you have a first and 20, you try to pick up maybe 8, 9, 10 yards if you can on first down. That's what they did.
Down and 12 from the 38.
Godard this time lines up at the top of the screen. Brendan Horton on the near side. Medici in motion. Salvatore across the middle, complete to Medici. And he's going to have a first down, depends on the mark, but I think they're going to give it to him. John Remus, slow to get up.
Is complete to Max Porter.
John Remus, 3-year starter. On tough contact that time.
Yeah, he came up and tried to lay a lick. I think he took the better of it, that's for sure. One of the safeties here for TA, Libby being the other safety there. That's another quick release by Salvatore. I like his release.
Ball just inside Thornton territory. 1st and 10, South Portland. Tobias stumbles forward. I think they're going to, it's a loose ball, but I think they're going to mark him down, yes.
Joey Tobias, the ball carrier, brought down by Luke Libby and Chris Madden.
Jeff, you probably had a pretty good look at that one there. Was he down on contact there?
I'd have to say he probably was down, he probably was down by contact a little bit, but it's a pretty close call. I think they made the right call in that play, so it was definitely something that escaped South Portland. It could have been a deadly turnover.
2nd 11, Red Riots. Excuse me, 2nd and 9, sorry, as I looked across. Tobias trying to get outside. He's inside the 45, doesn't get to the 40, and quite a hit on that far sideline.
Tobias, the ball carrier, brought down by
Libby.
Andrew Libby lowered the shoulder. Tobias gets up, though. He's a competitor.
A tough kid. A lot of tough kids on this field right here. They're going after each other, that's for sure. Libby came up from the safety position, had a running start. Actually had a pretty good corner seal over there for Tobias, and Libby closed on it quickly, but it's going to bring up a very, very interesting 3rd and 2.
We're already down to 4:15 on a moving clock. The crowd on this near side getting excited. Salvatore to Tobias, and Tobias is going to have the 1st down on 2nd effort as he broke a tackle and went close to the 35.
Tobias, the ball carrier, brought down by Kyle Forbes.
Kyle Forbes finally brought him down.
Boy, that was close to a loss. I think it was Remus came up, almost made the tackle for a loss that would have really put the Red Riots in a tough situation on a 4th down, but Tobias, waterbug-like, escaped that and picked up the 1st down.
Hang on to your seatbelts, fans of both teams. Salvatore hands off to Tobias, and he's wrestled to the ground. Dakota Tarbox.
Joey Tobias, the ball carrier, brought down for a loss by
on a big tackle for Thornton Academy. Boy, I'll tell you, this clock is like sand in the hourglass because we're inside 3.5 minutes.
Brings up 2nd down and 13.
These are the days of their life.
Now, don't tell me, Rob, I thought very highly for you, but somebody said don't call you afternoons, and I know why now.
We got ourselves a barn burner.
2nd and 13. We're going to hit 3 minutes before this play is over. Medici in motion. Pass by Salvatore. Overthrows Zach Compton. Zach Compton snuck behind the linebackers, had little daylight, and I think Salvatore would like to have that one back.
Oh, boy, he would love to have that one back, that's for sure. Compton ran down as a tight end into a cover 2 secondary. So the safeties are flowing to the side. The person that's got to make that play is the inside linebacker. Linebacker stepped up. Compton ran down the seam. Had he hit him in stride, he might have gone the distance. And that was a big play that they would love to have back, Jeff Christenberry.
Yes, that was very close. We're down on the sideline. I mean, I don't think he probably would have gone the distance. Probably would have fallen down around the 15, but still, it would have put him in great position with 3 minutes to go. Clock is not in their favor. They just used a timeout. They're down to 2, so it's make it or break it on this drive. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see the ball in the Bias's hands. He's been the guy all season for them, so you'll see it. But try probably some kind of screen play on this 3rd down. Maybe try to copy what Kevin Kiesel did in the
Yeah, you know, we haven't seen a screen out of them, I don't think, yet today, Jeff. So I think that's an excellent call. Certainly, it may be a big pass rush coming here from Thornton Academy. Look at the screen pass that TA threw. That was a big situation, and they converted on a screen pass. So I think that's a good possibility. Certainly you want to get it into a playmaker's hands. You know, the other guy that you want to look for is Gadar also on this.
Absolutely.
South Portland with 1 timeout left. Thornton 20, South Portland 15, 3:02 on the clock. 3rd and 14, South Portland. The ball just inside the 40 of Thornton. Salvatore gonna keep it, and he's tackled almost immediately. Was that Tarbox again?
Tarbox. The big boys come up big on this.
It looked like a straight run, I guess.
Well, Thornton Academy wasn't playing that play. I'll tell you what they were playing. They were playing pass. What they came is, as we've seen a couple of times, Tarbox lines up out in the flat, creeps to the line of scrimmage, tries to time the snap up, and comes hard as an outside pass rusher. He was a surprise to be when Salvatore showed up in his arms.
4th down play. 4th and 15 from the 40. This could be your ball game right here. Salvatore back to pass, throws the right sideline. And I think that's caught by Medici.
He's got it.
For first down. A perfect throw by Salvatore. He dropped that right into Medici.
To Dan Medici.
Nobody else could catch that except Medici.
A timing throw to Medici down the right sideline on the fade.
Down 1st and 10 from the Trojans 15.
Forbes had the coverage but didn't locate the ball.
1st and 10 from the 15, 2:10 to go. Give South Portland credit. They execute on a big 4th down. Tobias hesitates. And let's see, we have a loose ball in there. South Portland reacted like the ball was loose. No signal yet. I didn't see anything, but I saw one of the South Portland players like dive in there. South Portland ball.
2 timeouts, right, Jim?
Just one.
1 timeout, okay.
They corrected. The PA was correct.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
145. 2nd and 8 from the 13. Salvatore to Tobias. Bobby Beegan. 53 Bobby Beegan gets Tobias in the backfield.
Down by number 53,
as Beegan shot the gap.
Bobby Beegan on the BB move as he came inside, slanted in from his defensive position, made the play. That's a big play there for the Thornton Academy Trojans.
We could be under 1 minute by the time of the snap here. 3rd down and 9 from the 13. Oh, Doctor.
Big play time, both sides.
In the spread is Salvatore. Drops back, throws to the end zone, and let's see, contact, no flags.
Good non-call, feet. It was feet. Both guys got a chance to go up there.
Salvatore's pass is incomplete, intended for Max Porter.
I saw the officials looking at each other.
I think it was good officiating. They looked at each other, and a little head shake. No, they got it.
So again, 4th down and 9 from the 13.
Take your time out.
And Coach Munzing calls timeout, and Coach Stinson calls timeout. And I'm calling a brief timeout to send it down to Jeff Christenberry.
Thanks, Jim. Obviously a big play for South Portland on 4th down. It was the post floated up there. And it's as good a high school catch as I've seen all year. I mean, it was unbelievable, right on the sideline. That last play, I agree with you guys. Both the referees looked at each other. It looked like incidental contact. Both guys are looking at the ball. But they always tell you that, don't you got to turn your head back to the ball. If you're face guarding, you're going to get called for that play. So, I don't know, Rob, what do you think you're going to call on this 4th down here? This is one play for your whole season.
Well, you've got a play that you dream about as a coach. You say, okay, if we get in this situation, this is what we're going to do. You take your best offensive ball player and you get the ball towards him. You don't let the defense take it away. You simply say, listen, we got to go with our best guy. So I'll tell you guys, I'm voting for number 21. I don't know who you think is going to get the ball thrown his way.
I agree. I think you see a very similar play than you saw on the 4th down and long. Throw it in the end zone and hope for the best. We'll see what happens.
Okay, Medici, of course, has come up with big plays.
Exactly, but
4th down and 9. They can get a first down about the 4. Back to pass, Salvatore across the middle.
I hear a whistle. I thought I heard a whistle.
There's a flag on the play. What are they going to call? Libby with it. The clock's going to continue to run. And boy, this is a big call.
Did you hear a whistle, Jeff?
Pass is intercepted by Andrew Libby.
I did not hear a whistle, no, but I saw the flag there. So obviously it's going to be a pass interference on Thornton Academy. So probably half the distance to the goal, and it'll be first down and goal. But I didn't hear a whistle.
I thought I heard a whistle before the play even.
Officials talking it over.
I didn't hear one.
Because I've got a headset on.
Pretty good.
I'm older than the dirt that they took out of here when they put the field turf in.
Now,
I could be suspect.
As we look down live, nobody was around. Looked like the pass was overthrown. Now, what do they call Thornton for like holding in the meantime? I always get nervous for either team on the Summit Conference because that means the officials aren't sure. But maybe they want to be sure, so give them credit. So let's see, 20-15. We're waiting a 4th down call. If it's waved off the flag or It'll be Thornton ball. If not, it could be a first down for South Portland. Only 36.3 seconds. Thornton leading 20 to 15. It's going to be first down, South Portland, after a lengthy discussion.
Pass interference on the Trojans.
No timeouts.
Now the penalty's from the line of scrimmage, correct?
Yes.
It's not a spot foul like.
No, it's not. It won't come out to the 1 yard.
You know,
well, it must have occurred out on the perimeter. That's all I can think of, is they were maybe trying to throw a slant or something. That's all I can think of, that maybe they bumped. Well, I don't know who it would have been to. It was hard to tell where the pass was going. I thought they were going to try to get maybe it to Gadar.
Half the distance to the goal line and an automatic first down.
The ball at about what, the 6 or 7?
36 seconds left, no timeouts. You can run the ball, but you better have 2 plays if you're going to run the ball.
You can come up and spike it to kill the clock.
You hate to spike the ball inside the 5 yard line, Jim. It's just you're giving away a play that you could score on. Goal line fade, left side, 21.
First and goal from the 6. Salvatore sprints to his left, looking for a receiver. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Tyler Danley, big number 77, showed a lot of speed getting to the outside. Clock stops at 28.7. Tyler Danley's played mostly offensive line this year, but they moved him in to this set.
They were going to Logan Gadar out on the left side as they rolled his way. He was running a post flag. They're trying to get it out to him. Good pressure there. They could never get the ball in the throwing position.
Horton nearest to us. Gadar flank, top of the screen. Second down and goal. Salvatore, flag on the play, and let's see, before could be an illegal procedure.
Procedure or neutral zone violation, one or the other. That's the only 2 calls that could be pre-snap. It's either going to go against Thornton for being in the neutral zone or false start.
Against Thornton.
Offsides penalty on the Trojans, half the distance to the goal line. Second and goal from the 3.
3 yard line. Second and goal, 25.9 seconds. Thornton 20, South Portland 15. South Portland with no timeouts left. Salvatore under center. Hand off to DeBias. DeBias gains about a yard, then he's stacked up. The clock will continue to run as they unstack him.
15 seconds. 15.
Joey DeBias, the ball carrier, brought down by Quinlan.
We're going to hit 10 seconds. Compton's going to reset. This could be the last play. And now they spike it with 7.2 seconds.
It makes it 4th down.
And it's 4th down. Wow.
Salvador spikes the ball to
Take a
start the
brief
clock.
breath. Jeff Christenberry, I'm nervous up here for everybody. How are you down there?
Well, we're trying just not to run on the field no matter what happens here, but this is one play to win it all. Here we go. This is what high school football is all about.
Here we go. This is ball game. Salvatore to DeBias off the left side. I think he's short. Thornton has held.
Wow!
And there's the ball game. Thornton Academy on to the Western Maine Finals with a 20-15 win over a very, very tough and competitive South Portland team.
2 seconds left on the clock. They'll have to take a knee. Wow, what a stop there. I like the strategy by South Portland. They did a good job. They kept their composure there. Kill the clock because you're only going to get 1 play to score anyway, and that's all they thought that they would need. They came off to the left side, and credit that swarming defense of Thornton Academy. Looked like DeBias was going to have a little seam to get in. He ran hard, but that swarming Thornton Academy defense made the play there, and you can see the ball. Let's go down to Jeff. How close were they, Jeff?
It looks like they're going to be about a yard short. He's about less than a yard short, really 1 ball length away. Really, I mean, I'm not surprised by the South Portland call. I mean, that's the play. You can put it in your best player's hands and see what happens, and I'll tell you, the energy down here is just incredible, and when he saw that play, it just, of course, they were on the far side, so we couldn't see exactly. We were just on the goal line looking to see if he scored it through, but Thornton Academy, what a great defensive stand, withstanding 2 4th down and long conversions by South Portland, and they look like they're going to score really a signature win here. And, we'll talk, of course, much after the game about some of the mistakes they made, the penalties, obviously, but in the end, their defense came through, and it's going to lead them to a regional final game. We'll see what happens, but 2 seconds left. Unless something crazy happens, You give it to Eric Christensen, you plow him forward. That's why you got a big quarterback. And
well, the other thing you can do, Jeff, is you can take a safety here if you want.
That's true.
Snap the ball, run out of the end zone, game's over.
Right.
Head towards that new dorm. That's all you got to do.
Right. Head right over to the dorm and call it a day.
Stay with us post-game, Jeff. We'll have post-game interviews. It'll be a happy TA crew, that's for sure. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, 2.1 on the clock. Thornton just has to take a snap. Again, either take a knee or they could take the safety.
I wouldn't hand the ball off. You don't hand the ball off
Full
here.
house formation. Christensen straight ahead, and the whole pile moves forward. And moving forward also is the Thornton Academy team into the Western Maine Finals next week at Cheverus. But what a ball game here.
Oh, what a game we've had to bring you. Oh, best game I've covered all year. Absolutely, absolutely.
Final game.
You know, it wasn't all pure, but it was competitive, both sides, from the first play to the last play.
Absolutely, and lots of big plays, and lots of kids came up big in this one on both sides, and they played their hearts out, and it was just a terrifically competitive game. You know, like Jim said, sometimes had a few blemishes on it, but nonetheless, what a game. Glad we could bring it to you.
Okay,
Tickle pink.
I'm going to do the scoring summary, and Rob Munzing, you wait for. I'll go back to you for your final thoughts before we go down to the field. Take a deep breath, everybody around the world. And again, a very tough South Portland team under Coach Steve Stinson, who gave it all they had right to the final end and fell just about a half yard short of a game-winning touchdown by their stellar running back, Joey Tobias. Here is a scoring summary. The first period, Andrew Libby of Thornton, 11-yard run. Brandon Briggs' kick made it 7-0. South Portland got on the board early in that second period. Mike Salvatore, 2-yard run off a beautiful fake to Tobias. I'm still chasing Tobias now with the ball. That's how good the fake was by Salvatore as he went in on the bootleg. Sort of a big play in the game. The point after touchdown was blocked by the middle of the Thornton defense. And Thornton scored a second touchdown with 30 seconds to go in the half. Andrew Libby, a 1-yard run. The kick by Brandon Briggs made it 14-6. But South Portland moved the ball very well during the third period. It stalled a little bit, but Brendan Horton got some points on the board with a 22-yard field goal. Thornton came back after a big interception by Kyle Forbes. It was a touchdown pass going from Eric Christensen to Dakota Tarbox from 22 yards out. They went for a 2-point conversion and failed. South Portland scored with 8:23 to go. Joey Tobias, a 1-yard run. The point after touchdown, as they went for 2, was no good. So that was what it was, 20-15 with 8:23 to go. Both teams had the ball again. And it was South Portland who had it last, and you almost felt the team that had it last might come away with the win. South Portland drove it down. Thornton made a couple of stops. We thought, the coaching staff thought, penalties against Thornton gave South Portland one more chance. And in the end, they tried to go off the left side on 4th down to Joey Tobias, sort of an all-state caliber running back. And I do not know who made the tackle over there. It was on the far side, but he was held just short of the goal line. I'm going to say a half yard or less. Thornton had a quarterback sneak to tick off the final 2 seconds. And it's Thornton Academy on to the Western Maine Finals against Cheverus. There'll be a 12:30 kickoff next Saturday at Cheverus. Unfortunately, no internet connection, so encourage everybody to go to the game.
I think you can get probably some radio coverage on mbr.org. They'll have that game. Jim, I want to thank all the fine people that allowed us into your home, if it would be, the football community of Thornton Academy, the athletic community, and the whole school, actually, down here. Nate and I have been honored to be down here, and this game certainly lived up to its billing. It was a terrific football game. Played hard, played clean, and certainly glad that I could be part of it as Munzing Media. So thanks to everybody. Great game, both sides.
Enjoy working with you, and again, this could be a partnership. We could go on and do some other things.
You bet, Jim.
So I'm Jim Toomey in the booth. I'd like to again thank Rob Munzing and Nate Munzing from Munzing Media. Our ace cameraman, Jeff Scott, has been with us. Again, recognizing our other cameraman, Randy Pulsiver. and Greg Murray throughout the season. It's Thornton on to the Western Maine semifinals with a semifinal win, 20-15 over a tough South Portland team. I'm Jim Toomey, sending it down on the field to Thornton Academy general manager. I think he's got a special
so good at
guest.
this too. He does it all the time. Thanks a lot, Jim. And here with Andrew Libby. And Andrew, just talk about that fourth quarter, obviously back and forth. And what can you say about this team? They're showing a lot of heart, obviously coming away with a victory.
I thought their quarterback started
when times are tough, like they got fourth in the yardage, and we just got to execute our box, make the big play.
Yeah, obviously you had a pretty good game on the ground. You guys had some different things in the Wildcat today. So what were you guys talking about this week, trying to change it up a little bit? You had a couple passes as well.
Those are already there, actually. We were just waiting for the right moment to use them, to surprise the players because they normally think I run.
Yeah, obviously when it comes down there on the goal line, what is Coach telling you that last time out? I mean, obviously that's what football's all about, one play to end your season. I mean, what is it like out there?
He's like, guys, get your box and get your feet in, Libby. Just get your feet in.
Yeah, no, obviously it was a team effort on that last tackle. I mean, looking at next week, I know you got a lot way to go, but playing against Chevrolet, I mean, what can you say about this team? You guys find a way to win every week.
Up against South Portland?
No, I think it's South Portland and looking at Chevrolet. I mean, you guys just find a way to win every week to advance. And as you play Chevrolet next week, it's obviously going to be a bigger test as well.
Definitely. The crowd really is a big deed. They cheering us on, gives us our motivation. Our team's starting to play a little more emotion now. We're starting to realize that we need to start playing for something bigger than ourselves.
All right, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
See you next week. All right, so that's Andrew Libby, 2 touchdowns again this week. And Thornton Academy, obviously a team effort today, and every week this team is finding a way to win. And this week it came with a defensive stand at the last minute. I'll welcome over Tyler and Carl as it's obviously pretty hectic down here as the game ends. But Tyler, why don't you just talk about it again? South Portland goes by. It's a great effort by the Red Riots today. What can you say about that last drive, a couple of fourth-and-long conversions? It just didn't feel like Thornton Academy was going to be able to hold them.
Let me just start by saying that was probably one of the greatest games I've ever watched, probably the greatest game I've ever watched here at TA as far as high school football goes. That last drive especially, you could just see that the defense for TA seemed very worn down up until they got near the goal. And then the minute that they got those penalties, it seemed like they really were just digging themselves a deeper and deeper hole. I want to note that Coach Kiesel did a really good job keeping his team positive, and he was giving them a lot of good feedback, and that's, I think, what eventually helped them get that stop there. Of course, they put a lot of pressure on South Portland and really just seemed to be level-headed and calm near the end zone.
Now, Carl, obviously, we've asked about 6 people. No one really knows who got that last tackle, and it's kind of fitting because Thornton Academy is just a team defensive effort. But what can you say about those last couple plays? And have you ever been in a situation like that where you really have one play from inside the 3-yard line to your whole season?
Not myself in a career that I had, no way. I've never been in a game like that, but to come down to one play, 3 inches from the goal line is, the defense came up like they have all year, and that's what we've been very consistent for TA this year.
And what can you say about Andrew Libby? Again, another 2 touchdowns. Second half, Thornton Academy's play calling a little conservative, and they really got themselves in some 3-and-out situations. So what can you say about Libby's performance today? I mean, again, his kid just keeps on pumping, and as Carl says, he never gets tired.
He did phenomenal. He really was the person on this offense who kept this team going, especially in that first half, but even in the second half too. They kind of got into a rough play calling, but he was able to maintain enough of an offense and find enough gaps within the line to keep this team in it and to get them ahead, and that's eventually what won them the game. He is a major part of this offense. I think definitely a great skill player. Already is only a sophomore.
We're going to excuse Tyler for just a quick second. We want to grab Coach Kiesel. Yeah. So Carl, again, trying to look forward to next week. The Chevrolet, obviously, 45-0 drubbing of Deering.
Hey, Coach, great game.
What can you say? What can you say about
real quick? Thank you so much.
Looking forward, what's TA going to have to do? We always say they're going to clean up mistakes, clean up penalties, but do you think they can do it?
I don't think they have to right now. I mean, the way the season is going, forget about cleaning up mistakes. They keep themselves in the game. They make stops when they have to make stops.
Great.
It's going to help get our offense going and everything like that.
All right, well, welcome to Coach Kiesel. Congratulations, Coach. So, Coach, why don't you, talk about, first of all, what's it like being a football coach? I mean, that one play for your entire season, what is it? I mean, on the sidelines, we're trying not to jump up and down no matter what happens. So, what is it like out there as a coach?
At that point, it's about what you're feeling. It's like you just got to make a play. You hope your kid makes a play, and I'm not sure who made it. You couldn't see who made it.
No one knows. We've asked 10 people. No one knows. It's a team effort. Yeah.
It's like a play.
Yeah. Obviously, talk about Libby's performance. I mean, offensively, it really helped you guys. You guys did show a little diversity in the Wildcat today, and that really kind of helped you. So, what can you say about especially his first half performance today?
Yeah, I mean, try to get the ball to Andrew as many times as we can. I thought Nick Kenny carried the ball well today. Threw the ball well. It's a team effort. It's just Andrew Andrew gets a lot of the press, but we got guys up front do a great job, and I'm just proud of their efforts. And certainly, we want to try to get the ball in the as many times as we can.
Right, and obviously that last drive, they had 2 4th-and-long conversions. Yet, what can you say about your defense? They did not get down. You kept saying they'll stay positive because there's still a lot of game to be played.
It's just tell me, you got to play 48, and today it came down to 48 minutes, and it's important that you just forget. You got to have amnesia out there. You got to forget about the bad stuff and move on. And next play is the most important one.
Right. And what does this do for the program? Obviously, last year, tough loss in the quarterfinals, going to regional final, and really, again, tough schedule this year. And obviously, it's prepared you guys for this playoff run.
I'm just proud of these kids and how much they've matured during the year. That's what we kind of talked about in pregame was, you pop in that South Portland game week 2, and now it's basically 2 totally different teams. But they've bought into everything we've told them. They've worked hard every week. They believed in what as coaches what we told them, and I'm proud of the way that they've matured as football players, but also that they've matured as young men. I mean, they've really come along. That certainly makes Coach proud.
Yeah, and lastly, as you look toward next week, Cheverus obviously a big winner today over Deering, and you can celebrate this victory, but also you got to really get onto it. A team you haven't played yet this year. Yeah. So what are you gonna? I mean, what are you gonna be telling the team obviously to keep their heads above water?
I think you can look at the scores of their games, and I don't think our kids get like that. They understand that we're not a real flashy team. We haven't really blown many teams out, and we actually scrimmaged them in preseason, so we got an idea what they're like, and they're a heck of a team. They haven't lost a game in 2 years, and it's going to be a heck of a challenge going over there. But certainly we'll savor this one tonight and start getting ready tomorrow morning for them.
All right, congratulations, Coach.
Thank
you so much. Thank you.
So final score here from Thornton Academy is 20-15. Thornton Academy finds a way to win. And Tyler, any final thoughts?
I just think it was a crazy game. Really, it's the epitome of TA's season so far. They had great defensive plays. Their offense came together, had a lot of different parts contributing to the win, and I think they're a strong team going into next week's game against Cheverus.
It's going to be a real battle, and of course, the score. If you look at the score, 45-zip today, but I think it's going to be a very close game.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring that to you on pressherald.com/sports because of the wireless internet capabilities over there. But it's been really great the last couple of weeks. We really appreciate Munzing Media coming down to Thornton Academy, and certainly we hope to see everybody in the future. So for Tyler Carteret, I am Jeff Christenberry. One more time, the final score: Thornton Academy 20 and South Portland 15. Thanks for watching, and have a great week.